Hi, everybody. Thanks for tuning in once again to another episode of The Hang. It is already August for me. I don't know why I always tell you like you don't know when I upload these. Pretty sure the date tells you. But yeah, happy August. I know a couple of my family members got birthdays coming up. It's funny they were born in the same exact day, not the same exact day, like 10 years apart. Uh, Same date in the calendar. Um, and happy birthday to you if it is your birthday with a F. Um, let's see what's new. You know what? Actually, I always do this. I'm just gonna stop rambling because this is a lengthy episode, so I'm just gonna get straight to it. Before I do that, I'm just gonna give a quick little shout out to my usual suspects. So, shout outs to once again, I think this lady's doing something great, which is teaching her. I think she's like 5 years old, probably not even, her daughter on how to run a real business. So Savannah Lane Cosmetics, go check her out on Instagram because to be honest, I can't really say the link to the website because it's a little weird. But you'll find the link on her Instagram, which is Savannah Lane Cos, all one word. And yeah, by the way, that's lip gloss. I don't really do lip gloss or nail polish or none of that stuff. But if you want to go support a young lady that's starting to learn the ins and outs of how to run business and manage your money, go check her out. Another shout out is to another lady, Crafts by Lissa. Once again, she does everything you need as far as like um, customizing stuff. Yeah. So whether it's your t-shirt or your whole house, she got it for you. So go to crafts underscore by Lissa Lyssa on Instagram. I haven't asked if she has any other stuff, but everybody has Instagram nowadays, so just go check that out. I'm trying to think of what else. Oh yeah, last but not least, Minds Together. It is a mental health clinic over at Forest Hills. Go check it out. You can go to mindstogetherpc.com or call them at 347-392-4482. Once again, Gene Carlos is the founder of that place. And if you want to hear our previous podcast episode, pre-COVID, it's out now on YouTube, and it's always been out on audio platforms, or whatever you call them, podcast apps. I don't know the proper name, to be honest, and I am over here claiming to be a real podcaster, and I don't know my terms. You know what? You don't know them either, so I can't really talk shit. Yeah, so let's just get straight to the episode. I'm not gonna, um, hold you up that much more. By the way, I know you guys are like, "Oh, David, what about Monet? I thought you were partnered with Monet." I'll get to that later. I just want you to get to the episode already because it's kind of lengthy. Um, I like those, to be honest. I like not only listening to them, but I like podcasts that are this long because you get to know the person a lot, and I feel like I can talk forever technically. um, but we all have things to do, our own personal things to do, so we can't talk forever. Trying to think of something else before we get to the actual episode. Um, yeah, I can't really think of anything right now. I'll just say the Monet stuff later. So tune in later. Later in the episode, you hear me mention that. Actually, I'll just mention it really quick, and I'll mention it later too. Go to mymonate.com/David Vee. That's DAVIDVEE. Um, and you'll be able to see all the different options you have for hair and skin products. Um, I'll get more details later, into more details later. But let's actually once again get to the. I always do this. I say let's get to the meat and potatoes, and never do. So let's do it now. By the way, this is Chris Paul Morales, not Chris Paul the basketball player, Chris Paul the artist. Well, I met him when he was an artist, and just like every New Yorker, we do a lot of things. Um, so yeah, it's funny. I met Chris. I don't even remember. It's been a while. It's definitely like 2012, 2013, maybe. Um, and yeah, we actually got to work on some music before he started focusing on acting. So what you're about to hear is actually a song that I produced for him. He had already written it and everything, and he just approached me. He's like, "Hey, you wanna?" I forget the exact words. Like, he doesn't sound like a Mickey Mouse. Like, "Hey, you wanna produce me?" Um, but yeah, I was thankfully given the chance to produce this track, and I think it came out really good, if I do say so myself. Um, so I'll just get to it. I'll just play the track for you, and hopefully you enjoy what Chris and I have to say. So I guess we officially started.
It started. We're here.
And
we're in it.
Yes, here he is, in it to win it. You want to tell them a little bit of who you are?
No, not really.
Okay.
No. No. Hello to all the listeners. Hello, interweb. Hello, Mom. No, my mom's not listening. It's fine. My name is Chris Paul Morales. I am. What am I? Who am I? Existential questions. I am I'm an actor, producer, musician, singer, and real estate agent from New York. So that's the stuff that I do. More importantly, the first half of stuff. But unless you needed a place to live, let me know.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, that's why I like people to introduce themselves. Because first of all, I feel like, I don't know about other cities or other places of the world, but New Yorkers, we definitely have to have a lot of different roles.
there's too much going on. It's hard to pick one thing.
Yeah,
It's like,
that's
I don't
it.
want to.
Plus, if you genuinely like a lot of things, then why are you gonna limit yourself?
That's
from
what I'm
doing
talking
things?
about.
So I met Chris. For those of you that don't know,
Oh man.
uh, it's so like funny and weird how like there's this whole like circle, or I don't know what you want to call it.
The network.
Yeah, a network.
I don't know.
So I just ended up working for this company that does surveys. Because I needed a part-time job because I was going to school full-time. So
Yeah.
I needed something for the weekends, and that was good for us.
It was like only on the weekends.
Yeah, exactly. 'Cause it was like maybe Thursday work, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's where I met Chris. And I'm not going to lie, I think that job ended up being really good for me because I was extremely shy before I got to
Really?
that job. Yeah.
Oh wow. We
um,
really got to you.
Yeah, and it taught me about rejection and the world is a numbers game.
The world is a numbers game.
Yeah, the universe is numbers, but well, that's a pretty deep conversation. But
Fine.
yeah, right. Well, going back to how we met, so yeah, I just started working, and then you were already there for like a while, I guess.
That's too long.
Yeah.
So it's the answer. I don't know how long I was there before I met you. I don't know.
Yeah, but I
really don't
remember you were like right in the middle of releasing your music. Yeah.
Yes,
So that's other than like us getting along, that's why I think like
Yeah.
we were able to relate like further. And I was just starting out like going to audio engineering school and learning like real production, you know.
Yeah.
So even that was like
Let me mute this. This
in
is
the middle of
ridiculous.
growing. Oh, 11/11 just happened.
It did. It did just happen. I missed my wish for the day.
Yeah, no. See, it's funny because I think I was talking about life as numbers. But I'm just getting too deep. Let me ease you guys into this.
No.
All right.
Let's get deep. What are you talking about?
Well, I mean, when you go scuba diving, you gotta ease into it. You can't just
No.
go into.
No. Blow up the air tank. It's fine. I've never gone scuba diving. Don't listen to my advice. That's the one thing I haven't done yet.
Yeah.
No, there's a lot of things I haven't done, but scuba diving is one of them.
Yeah, I actually have a friend who runs a, I guess low-key advertising for him right now.
Simple
Down
plug.
in Florida, yeah.
Simple plug.
He has he has a scuba diving school. So next time I'm in Florida, next time you're in Florida, I'd be a lot better friend if I knew the exact place. But somewhere in southern
should've
Florida,
Made the calls before this.
Pineapple Scuba, yeah.
Pineapple scuba.
Yes, go look it up.
How much does it cost? I don't know. Like,
Yeah, actually, if I was better at this whole Zoom thing, I would probably try to get him on.
Zoom is the wave, man.
Yeah. So yeah, going back to
How we got along
yeah,
at work.
which is like, damn, now that I think about it, it was like 5 years ago, I think, something like
It
that.
was a really long time ago.
Yeah, I don't even
It
remember.
was a lifetime ago.
Yeah.
That was a different Chris. That was a different David.
Yeah, like I said, I was extremely like, what's the word? Like just closed off as far as like socially, and it took me a lot to like say something to strangers. that's what that
That was
job
a lot
was.
of that job. I feel like we have to talk about what it is.
Yeah.
Anyone listening is like, the hell are they talking
okay.
about?
So if you never worked for eWorks, this is what we did. So you're at a movie theater, like in the lobby or at a mall, and then we did surveys for a lot of movie studios. So they would send us the surveys, which sometimes they're like 15 minutes long, sometimes they were like 2 minutes long.
It depended on the person.
Right,
It really
yeah, it
did.
depends how much you
people
wanna
got
talk.
upset and they're all like, "This takes too long," and I'm like, "You're taking too long."
Yeah, so
sir."
stop asking questions, sir.
Exactly. Just answer the question and it's
Yeah.
fine. Like, you know.
Well, if you're us, then that's cool with you because it just makes time go
I was totally fine with it.
Yeah.
It was alright.
So yeah, that's the thing. We had to convince people basically that they wanted to do a survey that was 15 minutes long.
No, I don't know about you. I didn't do convincing.
Oh, yeah.
I didn't mess around with that. I was like, you want to do it or not?
You're right.
Because I'm moving on to the next person.
You're
Like,
right.
you
Yeah.
know,
I
was like, I'm not gonna make you do it against your will. But if you didn't want to do it, keep it moving.
And
Get
in
out of my way.
general, I think I love that I guess strategy as far as like selling, because it's like, I mean, I don't know what it is like for you when you try to like sell something, but
Yeah.
I'm kind of in that mindset. Like, all right, listen, do you need this or not? Because if you don't, I'll move on.
Dude, the truth is, you can't make someone do something they don't want to do.
Yeah.
And when someone doesn't want to do it, they know right away.
Right.
If someone is like thinking about it or like they want to do it, there's just stuff that's like in the way of that. But when someone doesn't want to do something, you can't make someone do something they don't want to
Right,
do.
yeah.
Like, you know, I don't believe in like convincing or whatever. Like, I'm not convincing you to do anything. If you did something and I influenced it, you already wanted to do it. So,
Right, yeah.
You know,
Yeah, exactly. Like
that's just me. Whatever.
no, you're
I
right,
don't
and I
know.
think that's. I mean, either I'm easy to sell to, or I like what you just mentioned is very true, because, I think I mentioned to you that I used to do kickboxing before.
I think so.
before
Yeah.
all gyms
Yeah.
closed.
We were talking about
Yeah,
that.
and the same person that got me to sign up for the gym I was going to, she's now at a new gym, and I just happened to ran into her the other day, and then she signed me up on the spot for the new gym. She's, but like you said,
Because you wanted to.
because
Do
I
it.
already wanted, I was already looking for
Yeah.
that.
If you didn't want to do it, you wouldn't do it.
Yeah,
You know?
I would have, like, I'm not the type that's like, because you know, I know all the tricks by now. Like, you're not gonna like sweet talk me into like buying something that you said I don't actually want.
Yeah.
But I actually want that, so it was just easy. Like, you don't have to do any convincing.
Exactly. That's what I'm talking about. You know?
Yeah. But yeah, like I was going back once again to centuries ago. Chris was like in the middle of doing music, and I remember when I met you, you were even doing shows. You were putting out.
Oh yeah.
You were putting out actual, like, you put out your EP and a couple singles. And
You met me when I put out the EP.
yeah, because I remember you put it out, and then you started doing a bunch of shows around the city. Is that correct?
I mean, honestly, it's just been so long that
Yeah.
I'm trying to remember how that went. But it sounds right. I just thought I met you before that. That's why I'm.
No,
Like,
that's
oh,
the thing.
okay.
I think we met, and then you were working on it. Cause I mean,
Okay.
yeah, cause I
All right.
didn't know what you were doing at
I
first.
was using all that eWorks money on it. That's literally where all that money went.
I can't blame you, man.
Yeah.
It's like all my current what do you call it? The CARES Act money.
Oh yes.
I've invested it into this place. Like
Yeah. Yeah. It works. Like I said, it's an improvement since the last time I was
yeah,
here.
and you know, right now you viewers could see this. They're just moving blankets.
It's a tapestry.
Yeah.
This tapestry is from the Byzantine Empire. I don't know. I don't know. Sorry, don't quote me on that.
I think it's from U-Haul, but
Might be from U-Haul. Might be from the Byzantine Empire.
Yeah.
You decide. I don't know.
But ultimately, like, I mean, that's what I have to do this week. Put up these. You guys can't see it, but out of the frame, there's all this absorbing.
Yeah,
foam.
David asked me to bring a staple gun.
Yeah,
And I was like, excuse me, what kind of podcast is this? I'm not comfortable.
This is a home improvement podcast.
No, I just didn't
sponsored
have a
by
staple
Lowe's.
gun.
Just
Yeah.
joking.
Whoa. Lowe's is closed by
Oh, that's right.
by
So-
my place. Oh, are they closed all
Yeah,
everywhere?
that's right, yeah,
Oh, okay,
they
because
did
it's a
go out of
Blink
business.
Fitness by where I am. So, which I was actually way more excited about. I was like, whoa, a Blink Fitness, that's way better
Yeah,
than Lowe's.
definitely.
I'm fine with that.
I mean, unless you're like you know, into all the home improvement.
I am.
Yeah.
It's weird. You hit a certain age and you are into it, but at the
for
same
sure.
time, am I going to the gym more or Home Depot?
Right,
It's
yeah, that's
kind
true.
of more the gym. I can probably go to some hardware store somewhere. I don't. Do we still talk about Home Depot? I forgot.
Oh,
Like,
right.
I don't remember. Sorry.
Yeah, it's hard to keep up
Lowe's.
nowadays.
Well, Lowe's is closed. I don't know what to do. So
Right, yeah. Your local hardware
yeah,
store. How about
local
that?
support local hardware stores. Support black businesses.
Yes.
There we go. That wasn't sarcastic. I mean it.
No, yeah, for sure. I mean, I agree with you because I actually, if anybody out there, I always mention it, but if anybody out there wants me to promote their local business, I gladly do so. Cause yeah, it's we gotta like support that. Cause if nobody were to buy from Home Depot for a day, I'm pretty sure they'll be okay.
Oh yeah, that'd be fine. It'd be all right.
Yeah, maybe a year they might not, but
Yeah.
they can do without a day of profits. But yeah, Chris, not that I don't pursue don't support your pursuits, but why'd you stop making music, man?
Whoa. I feel attacked. I didn't stop making music.
Yeah, you're right, because we actually made something between like that time that I'm talking about and now.
Yeah, exactly. I didn't stop making music. I think this is honestly what happened. I was coming from a very heavy, like, I don't know what you call it, traditional background where I went to school, I got a degree. Because even though I was doing all of that stuff, I was going to school. I got a degree in accounting and economics when I wasn't really about that. Like, I wasn't completely honest with myself while I was doing it, and I wasn't courageous enough to actually do what I wanted to do. It wasn't until I did my first accounting internship and I was sitting there, and for the first week, it was kind of cool. It was like, ooh, I feel like an adult. Like, ooh, I'm working and I'm like, I have an office to go to. Like, I don't know. It felt cool for like a week. And I literally mean a week. I think 2 weeks after that, I was just like, what am I doing? Literally when I thought, like, I had a job. I was ready to go, but I was just like, I don't know why I'm doing this. And I can't see myself doing it for long. So I went like hardcore into music. Actually, that's why I was working at eWorks. Now that I think about it, because I quit my internship.
Oh, okay.
Like, that's why.
Oh, okay. That
So
makes a lot of sense.
yeah, I would have never met you. But like, but actually, that's why I got that job. Yeah. So I quit it, and then I started working there. But the thing, I was like, I'm just gonna get some random part-time job, and that really was a random part-time job.
Sure.
And then I'm gonna like focus on my music and stuff. But the problem is, the way my brain was set up at the time, it was set up for school. It was set up like for the school to work to family system that doing art doesn't have either.
Oh yeah.
Like in school, I feel like we're trained for years to just be like, study this, do that, you're a doctor. Like, you know what I mean?
Right.
Like those are the steps.
Yeah, there's
that
like a
you go
clear
through,
path to
right?
take.
It's not like that with art, with music.
Yeah, for sure.
I tried to do that. I was like, okay, cool. So, in the same way that you go to school, you study, you go to school, and you become whatever, I was like, well, you make an EP, you play shows, and boom, you're an artist. Not necessarily the case. You can't really apply the same kind of work ethic. Well, that's hard to say. Like, the work ethic, yes, but it's not as linear. So I burned myself out because I didn't have, like, a music mentor at the time.
Oh, okay.
So there was no one that showed me how to live, like, an artistic life.
Yeah.
Around there, and I didn't have anyone to look up to. Like, my parents were
Right.
pretty traditional in what they did. I mean, my dad was an artist in the Philippines, but then, after that, he, came here and got a job because he also got scared out of his passion or whatever. So there was no one for me to look up to, not in my family or, anywhere that followed an artistic pursuit. So no one showed me, hey, this is what it's like to be an artist. So I burned myself out, honestly. I released the EP. And like you said, I hardcore tried to play like 2 shows a month.
Right, I do
Because I
remember
just thought,
that.
I thought like, well, if I just keep playing 2 shows a month, boom, I'm going to be like a huge artist.
Right.
But that's not it. I didn't realize like strategically, no one taught me about like marketing, like,
Right.
how the shows
many
should be
things.
marketed or whatever, what the market is like for my music. I didn't have, I mean, maybe also I didn't seek out a mentor, but I didn't know that I had to seek out a mentor because I was also in a point in my artistic life where I was too afraid to ask people for help. I was like, oh, I have to do this on my own, so it's just my responsibility. I can't get other people involved because if this bombs, like, I don't want people to waste their time.
Yeah,
but
for
that's like artist insecurity BS, that it's like... It's not real. Like, you need, for all you artists out there, you need to have a mentor. Reach out. If you want to do something, reach out for help. And any actual artist will be there for you, because that's the way this whole thing works. They were helped by somebody else, and they want to help because they know what it's like.
Exactly.
And anybody that doesn't want to help does not last long in any industry.
Right.
You'll realize that, like, everyone is where they are because of somebody else. Somebody else that helped them. So the truth of it is, I burned out. I didn't know like what I was doing. Meanwhile, I have friends. Obviously, I had friends in the scene that were doing so much better. They weren't playing 2 shows a month. They strategically had their years planned out. Like they had their single releases scheduled, they had their album releases scheduled. They played 2 shows a year.
Oh wow.
And were way bigger than I was. They were huge. They packed out Irving Plaza and everything.
Gotcha, yeah, so
and this is
chipping.
yeah. So I was like, I realized that these, specifically talking about my friends in Quantum Split, so it's a little shout out to them. But like, when I compared what I was doing in my strategy versus their strategy, mine was crap. Like, I was overworking myself. I was working too hard, trying to write songs every day, trying to rehearse for 2 shows a month.
Yeah.
It's a lot. Trying to teach my band members new songs.
That's true.
Like,
yeah, it's not.
I was overworking myself for no reason. When, bands that are way more successful, like my friends, they played 2 shows a year, and throughout the rest of the year, they had strategically planned releases.
Gotcha.
And I was like, and no one taught me that. Like, I didn't have anyone. So what's gonna happen when you do something like that? You burn out. It's not fun anymore. Wasn't having fun making music.
Wow.
That's the truth of it.
Yeah.
I was trying to do music like it was accounting. Like, I was taking something that I love, and I love performing. I still love performing. Like, any chance that I get to sing for people, play guitar, play drums, I love it. I love performing.
Yeah, it's fun.
But you try to take something fun, take something that you love, and make it accounting homework, and it's just like, no. You don't want to do that anymore.
What's the point anymore?
So, like, I don't know, I feel bad because there's, like, a lot of people that know me as a musician. There's a lot of people that know me as an actor. And a lot of people are like, oh, what happened? Where'd you go? But it's not that. I just didn't have, a mentor or anything. So, I mean, what happened to that was, I think art is always fluid. If you create art, you're just going to move on to, like, not move on, but you're going to get into other art forms. So acting was always something that I wanted to get into. So, I don't know, a year or so into that really terrible musician strategy, I was just like, well, I don't know what to do. Because to me, I thought I was doing everything that I could do. I thought, right? So I just was like, let me try acting for a little bit and just see how that goes. And then, I got really into it, and I had mentors in acting, which is what the difference was.
Right.
And that's when I learned the value of it, going to the Susan Batson studio in Times Square, Carl Ford, Chloe, Fiona, all my coaches there, they showed me, they were the ones that were like, it's okay. Like, it's okay to be an artist. You're an artist, and it's too late. So so that's the thing. And trust me, at the beginning of my acting career, I still had a lot of the same doubts I had as a musician. I was like, is this okay? Is this gonna be something? And the truth is, you don't know, but you're doing it because you like to do it.
Right.
And whatever comes of it is the reward that you get. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I've done work that I love, acting wise and music wise, that no one's ever heard of or ever seen, but that's the reward, is that you did it at some point.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, you feel good about yourself.
So that's what it is. And after, they kind of taught me that, and they taught me like what an artist's life is like, which is also so different from artist to artist.
Yeah, for sure.
But it's just understanding that, and understanding that it's really a different kind of lifestyle than just like, you do this, you do that, and then you're this. Like, it's not like that whatsoever. And I think that's very, very important for people to understand. I think it's really important for young artists to understand. Anybody that wants to get into an art, it's a road.
Yeah, for sure.
I'll put it that way. It's a road. And that's just what it is. And not everyone's built for it, and that's fine. But if you have the desire, you have the drive, and you really want to make this happen, then you can. But, you know, it's really up to you to decide if that's actually what you want to do. So, I mean, in terms of my music, I just burned out just because I was approaching it the wrong way. I got really into acting, and, you know, more things started happening with acting, and that's been going well. But, you know, I've been looking for that space to have music come back in. Like, especially during this quarantine, like, you know, I've been looking at writing music, writing more songs, but it's just so weird because my headspace when I was writing songs before, I don't know, I was probably like 21 or something like that.
Okay.
And then it's just like my mind is in a different place now.
For sure.
And I'm overthinking like what I'm writing about, to be honest. I'm like, do people write about this right now, you know? like I have these like weird but maybe that's my thing. Maybe that's my brand. I don't know. But
Yeah, exactly.
you know, I listen to popular music that's going on right now and I'm like, what are they talking about? Like, you know, what are they singing about? I don't even really know. I mean, every now and then there's a song that's like I can relate to that or whatever, but other songs I'm just like, I don't know what you're talking about, really. And then, you know, there's stuff that I want to sing about, that I want to talk about in my songs, and it's sad that it happens this way. Sometimes I hear it and I'm like, does anyone write songs about these things? Like, you know, it's weird. So,
but I mean, I was kind of in that like I haven't written in a while. I mean, I don't know time wise compared to you what a while is, but the other day I was also trying to write right now, and like you mentioned, you know, just even year to year, your mind is in a different space.
Hour to hour, your mind is in a different space.
And then if you think about it, what I was gonna say, like even minute to minute, because I was trying to write, and my friend, he's been writing for longer than I have, so we were both trying to write to like, we both put on a beat and we were trying to both write like our own verses. And then, you know, since he's been doing it longer than I have, he finished way before me.
Sure.
Because I'm there just stuck like, exactly like you said, like, what do I write about? What do people want to hear? And then that was just the overthinking in me, like, because ultimately what I ended up saying to myself is like, just like forget everything you're thinking. How are you feeling?
And just and just write it.
Yeah.
And just write it. And it's funny because I want to give you that advice, but I'm hesitating because I don't listen to it myself. That's why I don't listen to my own. It's great advice.
Yeah.
I have great advice, but I don't listen to it, and it's terrible.
Yeah,
But like,
that's how it is with people.
but if I did, if I listened to my own advice, I'd be soaring.
Yeah, but that's cool though that, you know, I think the earlier you realize that like you were mentioning, you need not to be by yourself, you need support.
Yeah.
And you need to plan out your path, because it's always going to be unique for everybody. Like you said, you can't take the schooling method, like how the education system works, and apply it to the arts, because it doesn't
It's not set up that way.
Because everybody, really not only is every art form different and every industry different, but every artist is definitely different. Like we're all given different circumstances, and provided with different what do you call them, resources. So
Right.
it's like we're all gonna start out at a different point in a way, and then if you know like less theory than others, or like do you even need it, or
Right. Yeah.
So that's like we're literally starting out in different points. So I guess trying to find the mentor is I mean, not that you can't have more than one.
No,
but
no, you can't. But the point is having someone to guide you.
Yeah, exactly.
'Cause
somebody that knows where you're trying to go to.
Yeah, choosing an artist's life is fucking weird.
Yeah.
It's really, really weird. I remember. Should we check if this is still recording?
Yeah. Time out.
Like, we should just check. Movie recording has been stopped.
Oh my gosh.
I wonder how long.
I wish it could tell us too. Like
I know.
there was some type of beep or something.
I know. Just don't be like weird about it.
Yeah.
You know, just tell us. Okay. So that's back on. But so what was I saying? Damn it.
About the mentor.
Oh yes. The point is that you have somebody to guide you. I remember when I first like officially just jumped in and accepted that I was gonna do an artistic life. I remember bringing it back to my acting studio, and you know, they're very about like, you know, how you feel and what you're aware of and everything. And I remember the instructor that day, Francesca, wonderful, wonderful teacher. She was like, what are you aware of today? And I was like, I don't know. I'm aware that I'm confused. And like, I don't know how I'm feeling because I just quit my job and I'm just going to do acting. And I don't know what that means. And the first thing she said was, wow, congratulations. And I was like, congratulations? I was like, what do you mean? I don't have a job. Like, I'm confused. And she's like, no, like, you know, you're taking the steps towards becoming an artist. And I didn't know like how relevant that was until I was in the middle of it. And I was like, wow, yes, I could have lived a life where I was stuck at a job just always wondering what could have been, which is fine. If that's what you want to do, there's no problem with it. But for me personally, I choose the adventure. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I want to know. Like, let me go do it and see for myself and see what I can make, see what I can do. So and it's funny because artists come to me now, artists from different art forms like singers and musicians, other actors, young actors, they come to me and, you know, they tell me the same thing sometimes. They're like, hey, I just quit my job and I'm going to do this like for real. And the first thing I say is congratulations. And they give me that same look like, what do you mean? I'm unemployed. And I'm like, no, like, dude, you just hit the point where you realize this is who you want to be. And you, you know, you are courageous enough to take that step for yourself, to be there for yourself and to commit. Like, not everybody gets there.
Yeah, for sure.
Like, you know, there's a lot of people that are like, man, I'm in this job or I'm doing this thing. Not even job, right? I don't shit on 9-to-5 jobs. Like if that's what you want to do, that's what you want to do. There's nothing wrong with it. They're great. They work. Whatever. I don't have a problem with it. But my problem is when someone's doing something that they don't want to do, it's a mindset thing.
Yeah,
it's a
for sure.
very, very huge mindset thing. Like... People are like, well, I can't get out of it. I can't do it. You can do so much more than you think you can. And it's scary. I get it. You're not really sure how it's going to work at first, but you'll figure it out. Like, you know, nothing's going to happen to you if you try to change things up. Like, you're not going to die, you know?
Yeah, that's why if you have a good support system, it'll be okay. Even, I mean, you might have like less money in your bank account or something,
or
but
you might not.
Yeah, exactly. Then
that's the other thing.
If you're doing things passionately, like you should be, if you like do anything,
yeah,
you like it'll come to you. You know, like these opportunities, these money opportunities will just come out of nowhere, and you'll be like, oh, so this is what it feels like.
Yeah, the truth is you don't know until you take that leap.
Yeah,
you know, once you start doing it, then see for yourself. But to me, what's most important is if you do it, you can immediately figure out, yes, this is the life I want to live, or no, it's not. And you can never wonder about it again. You can be unhappy doing what you're doing, think you're going to be happy doing something else, try it out, be like, oh, this sucks, and then go back and be way happier because you already know you don't want to do the other thing. Right. So, like, explore it.
Yeah,
like, you know?
I think that kind of was the case for me because at first, I went... like I was trying out, I guess, trying to just get in the industry. And then I was like, wow, this is hard. I think I need a real job, you know, like a 9-to-5. And then that was last year. Like last year, I tried all year basically to get a good 9-to-5. And then even when I got a couple, I was like, I shouldn't be here. Like, you know, I should. Yeah. And then this year, I guess like I've been going all in on like just trying to be in the music industry and the arts or whatever. And then, it's like nobody's kind of telling me how to do it. So I'm figuring it out. Yeah. But I still feel good like on a daily basis, like that I'm doing this, even though, I guess the financial security isn't there like a regular job would be. But I still feel good about like I would legit smile when I go do like even if it's like some like Jewish dance school recital. Like I don't know what's going on, but I'm still having fun because this is what I like to do.
Yeah.
You know?
And the other stuff comes into place. Like I mean, if you follow everything that you do with love and joy, and you follow that, it'll lead you to what you need to have. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? It'll lead you to what you need to have, to live the life that you want. It'll take you. I truly believe that. I truly
Yes.
believe that.
Good way to say it.
Lead with that. Like follow your joys, follow your love, and it'll bring you what you need to have. And I know that sounds like weird and like sounds like I'm not really saying anything, but I think once you do it, you'll see.
Yeah,
Like,
for sure. I mean, luckily some people don't. Like, I kind of wish sometimes I was that kind of person that just didn't care about the actual work that I'm doing for money.
Yeah.
I mean, if they do, there must be something else that like helps them look past that.
Yeah, if you're gonna do something, if you feel like you're stuck at something that you don't like doing, but it provides for you or whatever, I mean, hopefully you're doing something outside of work or whatever.
Yeah, so that's what I assume they're doing. That's
So-
like leveling it out.
Exactly. That should be fine, Yeah.
Yeah, I just didn't like. I mean, that's like the good and the bad thing about being an artist. That, like, if you choose to not have a 9 to 5, you get the flexibility of taking like every opportunity you get in the industry. Obviously, like, it's up to you. Like, you just kind of gotta go out there and hustle on your own to get those opportunities.
Yeah.
But it's like, it feels better. At least to me, it feels better than just like. I mean, I'm just trying to find a not weird way to say this.
Well,
Cause it's like. It's cause if I say it the way I'm thinking it, it's like.
say it.
You're crazy,
Just
but then
say
at
it.
the same time, like, yeah, I kind of know that, but like, not having the assurance of a daily paycheck, it's like it makes you go harder at what you like really want. 'Cause
Yeah.
it's like, well, either I don't eat or, yeah, that's like, or like I go get that, opportunity.
I'm a little split on that because I think I was there at a point where I get that. I'm a little split on it because yes, I agree with that, right? But at the same time, like I heard this term years ago from another actress friend. Instead of calling her job like a survival job, she was like, "Why get a survival job? That has a negative connotation on it, like it's just keeping you alive, rather than get like a thrival job, which is a job that you get that helps your artistry thrive."
Right.
Right. And I struggled a lot because, I became a real estate agent last year. And right before I got my license, I was sitting there like really, really nervous. I was like, what's going to happen? Am I just going to become a real estate agent?
Right.
And am I not going to be an artist anymore? Like, because I know myself and I know that
Yeah, that's definitely the fear.
sometimes I get into something and I can get sucked in. Like, if I like it, I can get sucked into something like for real. And I was like, and I was scared. I was like, I don't know if this means, am I not an artist anymore? Am I whatever? Am I not giving 100% towards art? What am I, right? And I started getting confused and afraid and everything. So I listened to this podcast. This is interesting, plugging a podcast on another podcast. But I listened to Audrey Helps Actors, which is an amazing, amazing podcast. And for some reason, the episode that I happened to listen to, I put on a random episode. Like, when I don't know what to do, I throw on Audrey Helps Actors, like, for
Good
real.
way to put it.
I put on a random episode, and she literally happened to be talking about thrival jobs. She called it, I think she was calling it a day job. But to me, I was like, she's talking about thrival jobs.
Oh, okay.
And she literally was talking about, well, what's up with this narrative of the starving artist?
Yeah, that's what I hear that a lot.
Like,
too.
what's the point of it? Like, is it just a story just to be like, wow, this person was homeless and now they're a megastar? Like,
Right.
why? Like, what's the point? What she said on that particular podcast was she was talking about, well, if you have an opportunity to make money and make more money than you would, working, some minimum wage job, why don't you do it and invest all of that into your art?
Yeah, for sure.
Like, acting is expensive. Going to acting class, paying for all the acting websites, paying for headshots and reels or whatever. It's expensive stuff. So where's it gonna come from if you're working like at a
Right.
grocery store? Like, no offense to grocery store workers, but you don't have the money to do that stuff
Yeah,
if
for
you're
sure.
doing that, right? Same thing with like music, all of this like production stuff, like your monitors and anything, even just going to a studio, paying for studio time.
Right.
How are you going to get the money for that? So, she said, if you have an opportunity to make a decent amount of money, work the job and then, invest it into your art. And I really needed to hear that on that particular day
Yeah.
because I was like, wow, that's perfect. She's like, what? She's like, we don't need to live by this narrative of the starving artist. There's no purpose for it to be there. Why can't you just be an artist and just get there by your means, like whatever means you
Yeah.
have? So when I heard that, it made me so much more confident in becoming like a real estate agent. And trust me, it changed things. All of a sudden, I could invest in my career in a way that I couldn't before.
Yeah, for sure.
Like, there were things that I was like, oh, I need this for my career. Let's take like headshots or something. Anywhere between like $500 and $800, like easily, right? Anything over 800, I think, is gratuitous. But anyway, it's like,
Yeah.
it's just like, they're expensive, right?
Yeah, for sure. Professional.
So, you're supposed to get these once to twice a year. And it's just, I remember before, if I was, working at an old job or our old job,
Right.
how many weekends of like
Yeah,
surveys
exactly.
is that? Like, it's a lot of freaking surveys
Yep.
to take. Meanwhile, I go do real estate, I rent 1 or 2 apartments, boom.
Yeah, exactly.
That's it. Like, I'm good to go. Like, it's fine. So, looking at that, if you have, I think I've also been listening to a lot of like entrepreneur stuff. Being an entrepreneur and having the mindset to be an entrepreneur, be an artist. Well, actually, when you're an artist, you are an entrepreneur.
exactly.
Like, it's a business to be a musician. It's a
Yeah,
business
for
to be an
sure.
actor. And people always miss that part, but there's a business aspect to it. But having that kind of mindset, you also have to, the difference between somebody that can't do it and somebody that's doing it, an entrepreneur, well, a poor person, quote unquote,
Yeah.
will say, they'll look at something expensive and they'll say, I can't afford it. I don't remember where I heard this.
Yeah,
I think I heard
that
this on
before. I
another
think I know
pod.
what you're talking
They'll say,
about.
I can't afford it. But an entrepreneur will say, how can I afford it?
Right.
So
Yeah.
they'll find a way to figure it out,
Right.
how they can do it. They might have like a very similar situation, but the difference being the mindset makes all the difference. So
Yes, that's good. It's all about the mindset.
it is. Mindset is like so much. Mindset takes care of so many things, and I think people don't realize that. So I don't know. Going back to what we were saying, I think follow what you love when you're finding the jobs and everything like that. And I'm not going back on that at all. Like, you might be doing some random like mixing production kind of job that's not paying so well,
Right.
but it makes you happy. But if you're doing something else also that helps that
Right.
career, do it. You know what I mean?
Plus, I mean, that's kind of how I see it, and that's why I chose to quit my, I guess, traditional 9-to-5 jobs.
Because it wasn't giving you the time.
Yeah, first of all,
to-
I had to give up so many music opportunities because I had to be at the job.
Yeah,
every
no, that's
day.
not going to work.
And then, yeah, and
It's
then,
non-negotiable.
And then, yeah, exactly. And plus, I mean, it was a sales job, so I was technically getting better at like communicating with people.
You can
Well,
do that anywhere.
Yeah, exactly. Like I do that, like you said, anywhere, and even like you said, if it's some like just production of some like little school that like I'm just pushing or like moving the levels and turning the knobs.
Yeah.
I'm not necessarily like a creator of it, but I'm still getting better. I'm still training my ears
Absolutely.
to listen to certain sounds and certain notes, and like yeah, it's like it's just helping me ultimately to become like I don't even know what to call myself anymore. The producer or whatever that I want to become.
Yeah.
So it's
Yeah.
like
And I think it's also important when you are finding like a thrival job, a job that's gonna help your art thrive,
Right.
just be upfront. Like, you know, a lot of the time, like when I started thinking about it that way, the last few jobs that I had, when I come into an interview, well, when I had come into an interview, it's the first thing I say, like, hey, I'm an actor and this is why I'm doing this job, to support that. So,
Yeah.
you know, let's clear that up right now. As long as you know that I'm an actor and, you know, I'm good for auditions and everything, then let's do it. Like, you know, I said that at the brokerage firm that I went
Oh,
to
okay.
when I first
cool.
when I first met them. Well, he knew I was an actor and he brought it up and I was like, yeah, I'm an actor. So, you know, I'm going to need time for auditions,
Yeah.
you know, working, whatever. And he was like, great, make your own schedule. Like, you know,
that's good,
he was
so.
like, you know, you're a real estate agent, so you can do work when you want. It's fine.
Right.
Like, you know,
Yeah, exactly. So it's always nice when it's flexible, like, and it's like to me, like that's from what I've seen so far. It's like that's why I kind of wish sometimes that I could just have that. Like I don't care about the job, it's as long as I get the money. But it was like I just see the importance of being able to like flow around as an artist. 'Cause
Yeah.
it's like I mean. I don't know every artist out there, but I'm pretty sure the reason why they want to be an artist is to have freedom.
yeah,
To do
Yeah.
what they wanted to do.
yeah,
And
freedom, and
Yeah.
because they have something to say.
yeah.
I mean, I think everyone has something to say, but it's a matter of like if they're brave enough to say it. Yeah,
Yeah, and it's like I mean, I don't want to toot my own horn, but the more I do things artistically, the more I can see and like kind of back my decision up. Like,
Yeah,
oh, you should
yeah.
be doing this.
Yeah.
Because you actually can. Like,
toot your horn, toot your horn, man,
Right.
because it's true. That's the amazing part. The more you do it, and the more you see how successful you can be
Right.
doing it, you're like, oh, this is the right decision.
right, exactly.
And if it's not, then it's fine. You know, some people could do it and be like, no, this decision was wrong. Cool. Like, you know, you're never stuck to a situation.
Right.
Like you're always creating what it is.
Yeah, for sure. And
So-
even like even if you shoot, I mean that's how I always remember this from like Kanye. Well, you know when Kanye West was a real artist,
And not a presidential candidate.
Right? Yeah, when he actually used to write good lyrics and make good beats. Like one of his lines was like "Reach for the stars, so if you fall, you land on the clouds." So that's kind of how I see things right now. It's like even if I don't become the hugely successful producer that I kind of picture myself being, it's like you always have that option to be an engineer somewhere.
That's
you
well
know?
that's the other thing that's important. I mean, going into that, it's important to define what success is to you.
Right.
Like, you know, successful, just the way that all artists are different, all successes are
Yeah, that's
different
very
as well.
true too. Right.
Like, you know, so, you know, what is it being a successful audio engineer to you? Like, you know, is it mixing on like the top pop stars like records or
Right.
whatever, or is it doing those like little school productions or whatever? It's up to you. Neither
Right.
one is like better or worse. It's all a matter of
Yeah,
like
exactly.
of you or whatever. Like for actors, is it success to be doing community theater once a year, or is it success to you to be like on the big screen? It doesn't matter what your success is, what success is defined to you. You decide what it is, and then you go for it. And you also have to decide what it is, and that's how you build your plan.
Right. That's for sure.
Have your strategy of what you're going for. Each one of them you can create a plan for, but you just have to know what you're shooting for. Because I think from some book I read, I can't remember the book. I think it was, no, I can't remember. If I remember, we'll put it in the show notes. But it was like you can't hit targets you can't see. And
okay.
that stuck with me for so long. I was like, that's so true.
Right.
I was like, you absolutely cannot hit targets that you can't see. So why are people trying to do it?
Right.
And by people, I meant me for a long time. I was just like throwing darts randomly
hoping they land.
and being like, this is gonna get me what I want.
Yeah.
Here comes me playing 2 random shows a month. Like, you know,
okay.
like
That was your
here's a
throwing
show
darts.
here, here's a show
Yeah.
there. Maybe write a new song, maybe release. No, it's just
Okay.
like all over the place, and it's not directed towards getting me towards a goal, which was the issue. I was just like, let me just do a bunch of things that are music, and I'll land somewhere.
Yeah.
And sure, that place was burnt
Okay,
out.
to get
That's
burnt
where I
You
ended
got
up.
burnt out.
Yeah.
Time out real quick.
Yeah, good.
Jesus, I did it again.
I wonder when it stopped.
Yeah, I wish it could tell me. I mean, you
I
can
wish
see,
we had we should put a mirror behind
actually
it.
behind you. That's why I grabbed that.
Are you there?
That's what I use that for. But
Can you
I
see
don't know
it?
how to put it up. Like how to stay up. Yeah, because
I can't see
that's
it
the
from
bad
there.
thing I didn't think about when I bought this. The fact that I can't see while I'm recording. Like,
Yeah,
'cause
yeah.
they
They have the ones that come around. Yeah.
So it sucks.
Sometimes that's weird though to watch yourself. You're
Yeah,
like,
it is. It
"Ah."
definitely is. I mean, I never watched the videos to be honest, because yeah, it's just weird.
I should have brought a drive to take some of these home.
Well,
Just
could always
WeTransfer
send
it
it
to
to- yeah,
me.
exactly, I could always
that's
send it
fine.
to
WeTransfer makes things so easy.
Yeah.
Sponsor us, WeTransfer.
or any type of drive cloud thing.
Yes.
But yeah, going back to oh my gosh, oh yeah, going back to, I guess, like feeling burnt out because you didn't have kind of like your actual plan.
Mm-hmm.
That's why, especially now, like I'm just starting to see it, like the more you actually write things down and plan it out,
Yeah.
whether it's for the next week or the next year, it's like it's so much better because first of all, you give yourself accountability because it's there.
Yeah.
And you've given yourself deadlines and instructions or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
So
And there's something important. There's something that happens to your brain when you write
yeah,
something down.
Exactly.
Like when you think about it, why do you write something down? You write something down because you want to remember it.
Right.
Right? Like it's easy to be like, I want to do this and just say it, but then it's in the wind. It's gone. Right? But, you know, even in school, why did we write things down? We wrote things down so we could remember it. There was a lot of times where I didn't remember what the hell the chapter was about, but I remember what I wrote down. And I would be like, I wrote this down. I don't know what it means anymore, but all I remember is this part. Like, you know, so that's the same thing that happens with goals. You write down your goals, it reacts in your brain in a different way than just saying something and having it disappear.
Yeah,
Because that's what happens, it disappears. Your brain signals it as something important, as this is something that your brain is there to help you. So you do something, you write something down, your brain goes, this is important, let me focus on that. Put it somewhere important in your brain so that you can act towards that, sometimes subconsciously, sometimes you don't
Right.
even realize, you
Yeah,
know?
exactly.
So yeah, writing it down it seems like such a simple step, but it makes such a difference.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. I feel like what's that movie? I think it was Memento, where the guy just leaves himself a bunch of clues around.
Yeah.
That's kind of how I feel right now. Like I'll write like a note and then like put it somewhere so that like, because if I put it in a notebook and then close it and then put the notebook away, I might forget what's in
But
there.
even that does something.
It still puts it, like you said,
It still puts it in
subconscious or something.
somehow it does. So actually, what's very interesting with this whole COVID thing, the lease on my apartment ended, and I was like, I don't want to look for an apartment right now.
Right.
So I moved back home, and I was looking at some old stuff or whatever. Well, you know, I actually cleaned out my room so I could make it like cooler. So I found my old passion planner from
cool.
like 2016 or whenever the heck I moved out. I don't know.
Oh, okay.
I don't know, right? And I looked at it, and Passion Planner has like a roadmap to help you get to the life that you want to live or whatever. So it has you do your 3-month goals, your 1-year goals, and your 5-year goals. I think I could swear it either said a 1-year goal or a 3-year goal that I was gonna move into my first apartment.
Oh, that's cool.
I wrote it down and said, I think it said like in 3 years I'm gonna move into my first apartment. I ended up moving into my first apartment 4 months after I wrote that.
Oh wow, that's crazy.
And I did not even realize, I
Yeah.
didn't even realize until I moved back home. And I was like, holy crap. I wrote down that 3 years from now, I'm going to move into my first apartment. I moved into my first apartment like 4 months later.
Wow, that's pretty cool.
And did not realize until like 3 years later when I moved back home. And I
Yeah,
was
that's
like,
crazy.
wow. I was
Yeah,
like,
and I doubt you were
know?
thinking like, I wrote this down, now I have to do it.
I
Like,
literally
yeah.
forgot.
Yeah, exactly.
I just did it, and I wrote it down, forgot, and it happened. Like, you know, I don't know. I mean, subconsciously, I guess I was on the lookout for it. Like I said, you
Yeah,
write
of
it down,
course.
subconsciously it comes, you know, law of attraction and all that.
Right.
And that's kind of what happened. Like, I do kind of remember what happened. I wrote it down, and I didn't really know how I was going to get there. That's also what's important. If you think a goal is impossible to reach, It's possible. Don't worry about how. Just
Okay, gotcha.
it'll come. It'll show up and it'll be weird. So I wrote that down. I didn't know how I was going to get my own apartment. I didn't really think I could afford it. Well, I thought I could afford like something cheap, but I didn't really know how I was going to get there. I didn't know how to move into an apartment. And then like, I don't know, sometime after I wrote that, one of my friends was like, I'm looking for a roommate. And I was like, yeah, I'm down. Like, I want to move out. Like, I'm cool with the idea. And then that ended up how I got my first apartment. And all I didn't really do anything towards it. It kind of came to me.
Right.
Like,
Yeah, it's kind of like you said, one of those laws of attraction things. Like, if you just like even just stating what you want,
yeah,
is like kind of like the first step, and then the universe kind of works itself out.
It does it. It brings it to you.
Chance,
yeah. And it's also like it puts you in the mindset to focus on it. Not that you're just like thinking about it all the time, but you just notice things differently. Like the easiest example to think of is with a car. You notice when either you're super aware of a car. Let's say you get a new car.
Yeah.
You get like a Mustang or something. All of a sudden you start driving out in your Mustang and you start being like, wow, that guy has a Mustang and that guy has a Mustang
Right.
and that guy has a Mustang. And you're like, wow, there's so many Mustangs here. There's exactly the same amount of Mustangs outside, but you only notice now because it's important in your brain.
Okay.
Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah, for sure.
So that's the
definitely
same
true.
kind of thing that happens. You write down some goal, like, I don't know, I want to be this type of audio engineer. Your brain is subconsciously focused on how to get you there.
Right.
And,
for sure.
and it seems like magic. It seems like things are coming to you. But really, you're not aware that you're actually getting yourself closer to these things because you deemed it important.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, I think that changed. Like one very clear example for me is when I started actively listening to music and movies and whatnot and sound. It was always there. Like, while I watch a movie at a theater and I'm like paying attention to the panning and how much of each like frequency range is like in my face or not, or how in depth like the sound is, like how far back or forward. These things like nobody really pays attention to at all.
I mean,
but they're
except
there.
for audio engineers.
Except for people like me. That's like I can't even enjoy a movie anymore.
Right.
But like, not that I enjoy it, but like I'm actively like looking out.
You can't
for
help
these
it.
things.
You
Yeah,
can't help it.
exactly.
Yeah.
And it's like you said, because I'm actually trying to do that stuff myself is the reason why I care. Because, I mean, I'll give you an example. Like, not that I don't care, but I just never been trained, so I don't really know. But like a movie or a show, like now I'm starting to think about the production of it since I've been in a couple productions. Like I worked back behind the scenes. So like now I'm able to see like, oh, that's what goes on. When before I had no idea, so I had no way to like kind of assimilate that while I watched the movie or show, But I'm pretty sure you do the same with like acting.
Yeah. I was gonna say this might be bad, but like whatever. Let's be bad, I guess.
Okay.
But
yeah.
no, this is a watered down version of what I'm saying, and people will probably pick up on it. But anyway, so sometimes I watch like, whatever. Sometimes I stream a movie for free online.
Okay.
This is the age we live in. It's fine.
Right.
This is what happens.
Like if you didn't know you could do this by now.
You can do it. Yeah. So like, sorry, but sometimes I do it. And sometimes there's like an ad.
Oh, okay, right.
Of like a porn that has to play before you.
Oh yeah, because it's
watch
those kind of websites, right?
Because it's those kind of websites, right? And I don't know. I guess the porn industry has money to advertise.
Yeah.
It's weird. I don't know. Anyway, point is, sometimes there will be like a porn before my movie, and even watching it, I'd be like, wow, these actors are really bad. But that's the point, right? Like they're not
exactly
on the screen to be a good actor, but I just can't help it. I'm just like, wow, they're really, really bad. And then I'll just be like, the story writing is bad. It's a porno. Story writing's supposed to be crappy. But it's just like there's this one that comes on. My girlfriend and I laugh at it all the time. This girl comes in and she's like gonna feed this guy dinner or whatever. I don't know.
Okay.
And then the guy, like, she puts the plate down, the guy looks at his food, and then like it's he eats it, I think. I don't remember. I really don't remember. I think he eats it, but then for some reason when he realizes it's vegetables, that's when he gets suspicious. I don't know what's going on. He goes, it's like, I don't know what's going on. That's what I mean. Like, the acting and the writing is so bad. It's just like, he goes, I don't know if he eats it or he sees it, but he goes, vegetables. Like, he doesn't say it, but his face just like, it confuses him that it's vegetables. And all of a sudden it signals him that this woman is gonna, like, his wife is gonna kill him all of a sudden. So he jumps like onto the couch, and then she jumps on top of him. And then I'm like, what is this?
Yeah,
Like,
so how does this lead to sex? Like,
I don't know.
That's
It's very,
funny.
very confusing.
Right.
And it's just like, and I'm like, okay, I know that they're not good actors.
right.
I should know this,
Hit it.
but I just can't help noticing the degree of how bad it is. Like,
No,
I'm
I get
just
what you're
like,
saying, right.
just like it's really bad. And I'm just like, I guess, and I'm like, I guess, I don't know, for the rest of it, I guess the sex part is all people are supposed to be watching. But I can't get past the bad acting anymore.
that's
I'm just
really
like, it's really, really bad. And then the movie starts, and I'm like, okay, it's fine.
Right.
Like,
back
yeah.
to real acting
Yeah.
now. Yeah.
Yeah, thank you. Thanks. But I can't get over it. And the ad sticks out because I'm just like, they're bad. Like, you know,
Yeah.
all of this is
And it's
bad.
always
Like,
nice-
you know,
it's always nice to see, like, I actually have a friend who, like, I mean, I don't know if he ever did this in front of people, but, like, if he notices that they're, like, just really bad musicians, like, that's funny to him. Like, he
Yeah.
legit, like, starts laughing out loud, like somebody just told a joke.
yeah. Yeah. I actually think I did it during, I think I was watching, like, Love, Simon or something. And he wasn't a bad actor. It was the dad.
Oh, okay.
He wasn't a bad actor. I just liked the choices that he made, and like knowing his work as an actor made me laugh.
Oh,
But it was
okay,
like during like a
gotcha.
really serious scene or whatever. Like, but I liked the work, and I was and I laughed. But like it was I was like, that was great that he did that. Like, you know, I liked it. It was like the scene where he's like talking to his son. Like, I don't know what happened, but he starts like breaking down and like crying or something. Like, it's a serious scene.
Right.
But I liked his choices, and I liked how he got there. And I was like, wow, I liked what he did, and I laughed, and like the theater was so quiet. And I was like, and I was with my other actor friends, and they knew why I was laughing, and they were like, wow, they're like, you're just laughing during this particular scene.
Right.
And I was like, but you know why?
Yeah.
Like, you
for
get
sure.
it. Like, I appreciate the work that he put into this.
I was gonna say, I think they would appreciate you laughing.
Right,
because,
exactly.
like-
He'd be like, I did do that.
Yeah,
Like, you know what I
right,
mean?
exactly.
He's like, that is what happened. And he was like, I was thinking the same about the story. Exactly, you know, he would get it.
Yeah. I mean, not that was supposed to be a comedic scene, but
Yeah, no, the scene as it was not supposed to be funny,
Right.
but, and that's not what I was laughing at anyway. I was just like, huh, interesting.
Right.
Like, you know?
You're not laughing at the scene. You're laughing at everything behind, like, I guess the intentions that led up to
Exactly.
that.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. I noticed that a lot in. I watch a lot of stand-up comedy because I can't go anywhere
Right.
to watch it.
Yeah.
Like from what's on Netflix and YouTube, like you always find kind of that situation that you mentioned where it's just that like I know why it's funny and the person knows why it's funny, but
Mm-hmm.
it's very deep. So like that's why you only might hear one person laugh at the joke.
Right.
'Cause
Right.
It's like it's not surface funny. It's like you have to think about it.
You have to actually understand.
Yeah.
If you know, you know.
Right. Yeah.
That's what it is.
Exactly. Yeah, exactly. Because they have like the background knowledge of like the joke or whatever the situation, and it's like
Yeah.
just trying to think of a quick example. Like if you're making a joke about plumbers, the plumber is gonna find it hilarious.
Yes. I know, yeah. That happens to me with everything that I'm in. I have like a bunch of group chats,
Okay.
and it's like some things are only funny to my actor friends, some things are only funny to my real estate friends.
Okay.
And
I
it's
see.
like some things are only funny to my musician friends.
Right.
Some things are only funny to my like isolated group of friends, and it's like,
yeah, for sure.
so something will be funny to me, and I'm like, damn, who do I send this to?
Yeah.
Like, who's gonna get this?
Right. That's why I remember when I sent you that meme about, oh god, was it about Geminis and Virgos?
Yes, yes. Yeah, it was bad because I think I'm a Virgo rising, so I was just
okay.
I feel a lot in this.
Well, if it makes you feel better, or I don't know if it make you feel worse, but yeah, I told you this. I just know a shitload of Geminis.
Yeah, yeah.
And it's like I'm not too much into the whole horoscope stuff, but like I talk to people that are, and they're just like, well, you just like the fact that they're like adventurous and energetic, and like, and you like to talk to them.
Okay,
And
I will say this though. It's a little more than that though. You know why? Because when I first started looking at horoscope and just like what your whatever your sun sign is, your regular sign,
Oh, okay, right.
it just looks like a lot of BS. You're like, you read stuff and you're like, you can write this for anybody.
Just a lot of
whatever.
generalization, right?
Right.
Yeah.
But what I realized, and I started looking at this like maybe 2 years ago or something, if you look at your whole chart and figure out what you are, so like I might be mixing it up. I'm not too crazy about it, but it's interesting.
Right.
But it's like, my sun sign is Gemini, but my rising sign I think is Virgo.
Oh, okay.
I have to check that. And then my moon sign is Capricorn.
Oh,
when I
okay.
started looking at it like that and reading those, I was like, oh, these are not general. I was like,
Yeah,
I was
that
like,
makes more
I was like,
sense,
this
yeah.
actually makes more sense because people are a little more complicated than just being like your one
Yeah,
thing.
for sure.
So I think your rising sign, if I'm doing this correctly, your rising sign is how you come off to people.
Oh, okay.
That's like their first impression of you. And then your moon sign is how you are emotionally. So then when I started looking at it that way, I was like, this is actually kind of right. I was like,
Yeah.
because before I was just reading like the Gemini stuff and I was like, I don't know. But then you throw in the other two and I was like, oh, yep. I was like, that's me for sure.
Yeah, that'd be weird. Because, I mean, I've never looked that far into, like, what my rising and moon signs are, but...
All you have to know is where you were born and the time that you were born.
Oh, okay. So that I heard that's
just
what
need to know
matters.
that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That time you were born.
And
I do know the time. Apparently it's like 8 a.m, which is kind of ironic because I'm not a morning person.
My parents keep changing the time that I was. They're not sure, which is fine.
You're right.
I don't think it's like a big deal to remember because other people will be like, your parents don't remember? And I'm like, no, they don't. There's other things that are going on in life.
Hey,
Like,
First of all, if you were the first one to come out, I'm pretty sure they could care less what time it is.
I'm sure my mom, I know sure as hell my mom does not know. She was like in labor.
Right.
Like not giving
even-
a crap what the
Yeah, I
time
gonna
was.
say,
Like,
her,
you know what I
her
mean?
soul probably wasn't even in her body. or
Exactly.
something. Like,
My dad maybe he looked at the clock, but he's busy too. Like,
Yeah.
you know what I mean?
yeah, exactly. I'm pretty sure he'd rather look at you than the clock.
Yeah, I coaching my mom, whatever. I
Right.
don't think he was like looking at the clock, so I don't blame them. But they're like, I don't know, somewhere between 1 and 2 a.m.
Oh,
so
okay.
I was like, okay, sure.
But I don't know if like, I mean, I guess I'll look into it now, but
It makes more sense.
Yeah,
when you know that.
but it's weird because, like I mentioned earlier, I used to be this very like closed off, shy individual that like it was really hard for me to talk to strangers.
yeah,
And now I think it's the complete opposite. And now it's like
yeah,
I have a whole podcast where we just talk for a long time.
right.
So it's like my personality. Not I won't say my personality because I'm still definitely the same person. I think.
Yeah.
After all these years, but like my, I guess surface. What you call it? Like my surface
You
self.
grow and you evolve.
Yeah, like
Like, you know?
my surface. Like what people see of me
Yes.
is not the same
I
that
think
they would see 5 years ago.
I think your approach and what you do might be different, but I think your core
Yeah, for sure.
your core things are going to be the same.
Yeah, I think. Yeah.
But I just think the way you go about it will be different. So yeah, you could be more like personal, more out of your shell or whatever, but inside you're the same person.
Right,
Like,
because it's like it's funny that you mentioned that. Like, if you kind of look at it in an, I guess, accepting way, like you have an easier time with your own self, because, like I know that I'm an emotional being.
Everyone
And
is.
then yeah.
Whether they like to admit that or not.
Yeah, and that's the
So-
thing. I used to think like, oh no, I'm this very like strong person with a hard outer shell.
You can still be
And,
a
like,
strong
yeah.
person that's emotional.
Yeah,
Like,
but that's what I'm saying. I used to be like, I think people and even I thought that like I didn't show emotion, like on a day-to-day basis, and like if you just met me or if I don't really talk to you, you would think that I'm just like this serious like emotionless person. But like I've now learned to like no, like I'm gonna like embrace the fact that I am like overly emotional and then like put it towards
just
the good, like put it out there in a good way, like
yeah.
towards my art or whatever, like or towards what I do, like helping out my family or people or whatever, like you know.
I mean, it's just emotion. Everyone has it.
Yeah, for sure.
Sometimes the people that like think they're not emotional, they have it the most. So like
Right.
because that's how much they're like burying or
Yeah,
whatever.
I think that's what used to happen. Well, I don't want to say used to because it probably still happens, but yeah, like I've learned to like not, like you said, not suppress it because it's just gonna explode like a volcano
Right.
eventually.
Yeah.
All right, we'll take a little break from the action just to tell you about the company that we've. What is that? Oh man, somebody's running this faucet. So yeah, a little company that we partnered with called Monat. If you don't know by now, Monat is a hair and skin product company. It stands for modern nature. I was gonna say mother, but I guess that's kind of like the little ha 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 part of it. It's supposed to be a tongue twister in a way. What do they call that? I should have paid attention in English class. It's not a pun. It's like a play on words, whatever. But as I was saying, Monet, once again, modern nature. um, yeah, it's a great company. In case you didn't know, I have long hair now, and I use these products to take care of my long hair. And it's never been a thing for me because I've always tried to keep it short for that same exact reason, to not take care of my hair, because that's just another thing. It takes up your time. But I like my long hair. People like my long hair. And the reason why people like it, I assume, is because it looks nice and it feels nice and it's healthy, thanks to taking care of it. So you can go to mymonat.com/David Vee to check out all the products there. And to be honest, the best thing you can do is join the VIP program. What you get in the VIP program, well, first of all, it's just a one-time fee of $19.99, so $20, to enroll in the VIP program. But it's definitely worth it because you get 15% off retail prices. You get shipping for free. And you get something on your birthday. Every birthday, you get a special treat. So birthdays with F's, definitely if it's coming up, why not? Why not sign up for it, right? And you also get, for every purchase you get or you make, you get a special additional little mystery gift. So who doesn't like mysteries and gifts? So put those two together once you get the VIP package or join the VIP program. I'm sorry. And by the way, if you have friends that also want to join the VIP program, you can go ahead and tell them that if they join, if they use you, if you refer them, you both get $20 off your purchase. By the way, if you have friends and you think you might want to also become a partner and get them to become partners, you can do that. You could become a market partner as well. Just go to, mymonat.com and /David Vee. Don't forget that part, because yeah, listen, I'm gonna be straightforward with you. Yes, I do get a little money for every purchase, but that money is gonna be put towards this place. I know you don't really see it unless you're watching the video, but this place has been improving slowly but surely. And if you wanted to get even better, even better quality podcasts, and better quality music, if you listen to my music or any other music, that's where your money is going to go towards. So don't feel ashamed. It's not like I'm going to take it and go to a vacation to Aruba. I mean, I'll do that eventually, but that's not my focus right now. My focus right now is to make this recording space, recording quality, whatever you want to call it, as high as possible, as best as possible. I'm just kind of getting away from the topic here. By the way, one thing you should definitely do once you get into once you go to mymonat.com/David Vee, there is a hair and skin quiz. I mean, it sounds like weird saying a quiz because like you don't pass or fail. you don't get you don't get in trouble by your mom if you fail it, or whoever. But yeah, there's go ahead and go take the quiz, guys, and that way you can know exactly what products are best for you. I took the quiz, and obviously as a guy, I got my own products that were not the same products that females got. So if you're a guy, by the way, you're like, oh, I don't need that shit. Like, I just use Head and Shoulders. Maybe I'll talk about that in another solo podcast because I could go on for a long time talking about Head and Shoulders and Procter and Gamble and all these, major corporations. So Monat is not a major corporation. It's they do everything vegan friendly. They don't test on animals, none of that. Corporate money hungry shit. Yeah, it's like you taking care of your hair and your skin. And if you never cared, you probably will at one point. Trust me, you definitely will. Cause I never cared until I was like, let me see what it's like to grow my hair out. Cause I've never done it. It's never been past my ears. Basically, I've always like kept it short and buzz cut. But I don't mind this, even though it's a little hot for the summer. It's just put it up in a bun, whatever. Oh man, I think I've already talked too much and bored you because I'm bored. I want to go back to listening to the episode. But don't forget mymonat.com/David Vee. Go sign up for the VIP program. Go take the quiz or the assessment, whatever you want to call it. Quiz, survey. I know survey is not a nice word either. But yeah, if you listen to this podcast, you'll see why I don't like that word. But yeah, let's just get back to it. Once again, mymonat.com/David Vee. All right, welcome back.
We're back from commercial.
Yeah, commercials are. I should probably start doing that.
Smart water.
Yeah.
You should. You should. Commercial podcast commercials are pretty interesting.
I just have to find who wants to, who wants to give me something to advertise.
Yeah.
Because I'm definitely down for that. I think I just need more numbers, to be honest.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah, you're still.
Should get in on Quip toothbrushes because I want a Quip toothbrush.
Oh, okay. Yeah, there's a lot of good products out there, and for now, I only have hair products to advertise to you guys.
Okay.
But if you don't have hair, I'm sorry. I don't know what.
You have to know your audience.
Yeah, actually,
imagine like looking at your podcast and being like, well, we have 40% bald listeners.
Right. Hey,
60%
but you bald listeners, Monat also offers skincare products. So if you want that dome to be nice and shiny and smooth,
there you go. Now we covered everyone.
Yeah, now we have everybody. And if you don't have skin or hair, then damn, son.
You are probably dead. Right. Sorry about it.
Yeah, it's all right. You don't need shampoo where you're going.
Or maybe you do.
Yeah, who knows? That's the cool thing we don't know. So I guess kind of now it's time to get deep, Chris.
Oh wow, okay.
But I mean, I kind of like, it's just interesting because just this idea just came to mind when we said that. Mm-hmm. It's like, oh, we don't know if we need shampoo or not, and then kind of connecting it to the horoscope thing. It's like, that's why I don't completely dismiss all that stuff, because it's like
it exists for some reason.
Yeah, it's like, and then if it's relating to the stars, it's like, in my opinion, or from the way I see it, it's like, it's all connected, like,
yeah.
all stuff. I don't even know what to call it.
Yeah,
stuff. Everything is everything. And I kind of understand what that means now, that like, we say, like, people say, or it's not what they say, it is what it is. Like, we are made of the same things that stars are made of.
Right.
And
all chemicals and
all the
whatever
atoms and
there you go. That's what I was
elements.
Elements.
Yes. And it's the same thing at the molecular level. It's like those, like, if you think about it, atoms themselves are like little galaxies, or like little solar systems.
Yeah.
Because they have the electrons move around like planets, and different sizes of the nucleus, so like the sun. Um, once again, I'm kind of just going back to the horoscope thing. It's like, I personally don't know. I haven't done that much research as far as like who came up with them, or why people named the constellations, the certain names. Like, I know they're supposed to look like them, but
Yeah.
come on now, like the Pisces really look like two fish. Like,
I don't know.
Yeah.
What does that constellation look like? I'm going to look it up,
Right.
actually.
I don't even think I ever even seen it myself. The only one we all know about is Orion, and like Big Dipper, Little Dipper, and then the Ursa Major and Minor don't even look like bears to me. But
It's imagination, bro.
yeah, I mean that's true. It's like when you're probably like, they probably smoked a little something and just looked up at the stars and like, that looks pretty. That looks like a bear.
Oh, yeah, okay, I see it. I see one fish. I don't see
So-
more than one. But, like, it's talking about, like, the fin coming down.
I guess.
Well, okay, I looked at this one, and I was like, I don't get it. But then I looked at that one, and I was like,
Yeah,
okay,
once they
that
break
one
it
looks,
down.
That one looks like a fish.
Yeah. Okay.
All right, let's go through these. I
Yeah, but
guess.
then like why I feel like, I mean, I always try to just answer my own questions and my own the reason why I wonder things. So I think one of the
Okay, Orion looks fire, though.
yeah, it looks
Orion
like an
looks fire.
actual
Like-
person with a bow
Yeah,
and a sword.
Orion is fire.
Yeah.
I'm not, like,
It's legit.
yeah.
And I mean, apparently that's like to get even deeper, that's what the ancient pyramid builders used to use to decide where they were gonna build their pyramids.
Right.
But going back to like you being a Gemini and me having a lot of Gemini friends, I think, according to what I know, it's both about like, they're both about duality, because Geminis are twins,
Yeah.
and then Pisces are two fish. It's not just the fish.
Yeah.
It's two of them. And me personally, I definitely see that, because I'm not. I mean, I just told you. It's like the third time I told you today.
Just looked up the Gemini
That,
constellation.
yeah. Yeah, I mean, that one is more.
It actually did look like two people.
Yeah, that one looks like actually two things.
Yeah.
Not like one strip of
That's a
lines that's supposed to be a fish.
Are you just mad about your constellation? Like,
Yeah, exactly.
it
Those
actually looks
literally
like two
look
people.
like two.
Like,
people.
I get it.
I just maybe I am a little mad, but
It's okay.
but yeah, like I know that, like I just told you that I am not the same person that I was,
Uh-huh.
and then even what I show on the outside isn't always what's on the inside.
Sure.
So, and then I just generally believe that like everything should be like well balanced, like everything you do in life. So like you can't be a complete vegan, but you also can't eat like burgers every day.
Yeah, of course.
That's I'm just stating the obvious, but like that's how I've looked at life for as long as I can remember. And I feel like the Geminis that I know are the same way. Like, you're like you said, you're obviously artistic, but you also have worked in an accounting firm and, do real estate. Those are like, to me, two very different spectrums of like the workforce, I guess you could call it.
They are.
Yeah, exactly. And I mean, you seem pretty balanced too. Like since I met you, you've like gotten in better shape.
Thank
and
you.
yeah, and
Seem balanced is,
yeah.
is the key word.
yeah, but and not just you, but like other people. Like I know that, while they do like to have fun, they still know that like they have to work hard. When they are working, and I'm just trying to like, what do you call it? Figure out why I'm so damn drawn to like people born in late May, early June. Like,
I mean, we're amazing. No, I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I don't know your other Gemini friends, but like, but no, I don't know. There's obviously like some sort of energy attraction. This is like, I'm just probably making stuff up, but like it's
what you what you think and feel like.
Yeah. Yeah, that's what I think it is. There's definitely, I mean, if you feel that in particular, Yeah, I don't know. There's some sort of thing that like attracts you, not in like a weird sexual way,
Right.
but like attracts you to
Yeah, because it's all guys
Geminis,
and
I guess.
girls that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know. I guess I don't know. Maybe it is like the energy of it. I don't, like I said, I don't know how your other friends are. That's why I don't know. That's why I can't. That's what's making this hard. I know how I am, but I don't know.
Well, that's the thing.
I don't know anybody
like,
else.
That's what I'm like. When I sit down and start, I guess, comparing, if that's the right word.
Yeah,
Like
yeah.
I can definitely see all the similarities between you people. And it's like, yeah. And then one of my friends that she's really into this stuff, and she's like, you just like. I mean, I don't want to call you crazy.
No, I think every artist is a little crazy. I think it's fine.
Yeah.
like
But that's what like some people like I guess have that stereotype like Geminis are crazy, and it's like, well, what's crazy to you? Like like to me,
It's true.
To me,
Yeah.
it's cool. To me, it's normal, but to you, it's crazy.
Yeah. Yeah.
So it's like, and then they also like claim that like they're very or you people are very bipolar. And it's like,
Could be.
I mean, first of all, everybody's bipolar because everybody has different emotions day to day.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
exactly. But once again, to me, that's like, maybe it's just me trying to see the good in that
Maybe.
comment. But like to me, that's just part of the balance that you
I mean,
are.
yeah, there's definitely extremes to
Yeah, for
both how
sure.
you can feel about something. So the weird thing is I feel like I have been like that sometimes, but sometimes it's like I don't know if I can think of any examples. Actually, week to week, I think sometimes I could be like really on about something. Like I'm really on about it, then the next week I'll come off, and then the next week I'll be on it again. And it's like sometimes that happens with me, and it just is. I don't know. Maybe that's part of it. I have no idea.
You're right. Yeah. You
I was actually wondering about it, because as I was going through it, I was like, I'm really on about this right now. Then the next week I'm not, and then the next week I am again.
Yeah. So that's what I mean. I don't think. I guess we would have to do some type of study.
I think so,
Go
yeah.
back to doing surveys.
Yeah, I know. We have to start surveying every time I look at a survey, I wonder like who's collecting
Yeah,
it,
right?
who wrote it, like where does this go?
Yeah.
Especially like the Google reward surveys,
Oh, okay.
which are great. You get like 13 to 50 cents every time you do one, depending on how long it is
Right.
or whatever.
Not bad.
But I always wonder like who's getting this, like
Yeah, who has to
just
do the
Google,
data entry
like
and
that's
all that
someone's
stuff.
job.
Yeah.
That
All right.
they just like I have a friend that works for Facebook, and her job is like specifically the stickers in the Facebook stories.
Oh, okay.
Specifically. I was like, that's a very like
Yeah.
niche part of Facebook
Yeah, that's crazy.
to program all the
But,
time,
yeah,
Shout out to Melody. But
yeah,
like that's
I guess it requires a whole person or people.
I think they're a team, but it's
Yeah.
like yeah, she was like, yeah, did you notice like the Facebook story stickers? And I was like, oh yeah. She's like, that's what we focus on.
that's
And I was
pretty
like, that's
cool.
interesting.
Yeah. Yeah. Plus, the more the like the site grows, the more people it's definitely gonna need. But yeah, I mean,
I hope I got that job position right. I'm pretty sure that's what it
yeah.
is.
Well, that's yeah. I believe it because it's like,
No, I just hope she doesn't work for a different part of like the Facebook
Yeah,
story and I'm
lied.
completely wrong. I'm like,
that's cool though. I mean, I wonder if they work on Instagram too because they're
they do.
okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, 'cause they're
They
they're
do.
the same company.
The
so.
office, they have the Instagram floor.
Oh, okay.
So yeah, they are the same company.
Right.
So is WhatsApp.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
WhatsApp threw me off.
Yeah.
Because I don't know, there was a WhatsApp update, and then like I opened it up and it was like WhatsApp by Facebook, and I was like, wait, what? And I was
Yeah.
like, and I had to restart the app because I was like, what are you talking about?
Yeah, I try to keep up with my companies nowadays since like
Facebook does a lot of stuff.
yeah, definitely. They're always like
So
in
weird.
the news.
Plug
Like,
for Facebook.
yeah. But what are we talking about? Going back to like I guess. How do we end up talking about Facebook?
I don't know. I'm not sure. I
mean,
actually don't know.
I know we were talking about horoscopes, and
Yes.
then I'm just trying to figure
Energies,
out
friends.
between Facebook and horoscopes, what's in between there. Cause
Oh my God, this is my fault. I
it's
brought it
it's
up.
all right. It happens, and it's something that I'm getting better at too. Because it's like, nobody trained me how to do a podcast. I just watch other podcasts myself, and then I'm like, oh, I do that.
Yeah.
I do
yeah.
that stuff. I just don't record it.
Right.
So, you know?
Exactly. Exactly.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know. Some reason I brought up my friend that works on that particular thing, and I don't remember what we said right before it.
It's cool though.
Yeah.
I mean.
No, it's gonna bother me though until I listen to it.
Yeah, yeah. How about?
I guess we can just listen to it later.
Yeah, we'll just listen.
Yeah.
Everybody else listen to and let us know. I wish. I mean, I know maybe you can give me some ideas, but like, how do you think we can get this more interactive with the world? Other than obviously they have to listen.
Yes. Yeah.
And like,
Well, I think it's a lot about like targeting a specific audience that you want to be with. And I know it's always like when you do something like this, you're like, well, I just want to do it for everyone. But
Right.
that's not really a thing.
yeah, that's true.
Like, you know what I mean? You can, but then again, it's just that same thing of like, that's why it's called a target audience. Holy
Right.
shit. It's like, again, it's just like, well, here's the podcast, and like, it's just going everywhere.
You're
and
right.
you're not aiming for anything. You know what I mean? So, I mean, I think definitely, I'm not sure if you already determined that stuff, but this is for me. I would start with that. Like, you know, who am I targeting? And then I would bring on the content that would appeal to them.
Right.
And I don't know what it is. Like, you know, right now, you know, we talk about like a lot of things. So, you know, maybe there's like different themed episodes or
Right.
something that, you know, will get people to listen. Like maybe one is like really horoscope heavy or something.
Right,
I don't know. These are just ideas.
Yeah,
Right.
for sure.
And then you just like toss them out, or like, you know, with guests that are on, maybe they are a particular theme. Like I know there'd been like a lot of artists
Right,
that you have
exactly.
generally. So, you know, maybe they're like themed or whatever. Or you could also have, I mean, Audrey does this for her podcast. She does like listener questions.
Yeah, that's what I'd like to do. Kind of thing.
So people will leave her like voicemails, and she'll do like an episode.
Oh,
Like
yeah,
she'll pick out one that she wants to answer or something. So you could do something like that. I mean, because you said more interactive, right?
Right.
So that's an idea.
Well, I mean, going back to like having a target audience, I mean, you're definitely right about that, but it's like, I don't want to make this sound like an excuse, but just like the way I make music, I'm just kind of making it, like, I make different styles because I just like different styles,
Yeah.
you know? And just like music, I know a lot of different people from different backgrounds and different, you know, fields of work and whatnot.
Yeah.
And different interests.
No, I don't
Yeah.
think that's an excuse, right? I don't think that's an excuse. What I think that means is you just determine though what other people are interested in that kind of stuff.
Right.
Like, you know what I mean? Maybe it's like all millennials. I have no
Right,
idea.
yeah, for
Maybe
sure. I
it's
get what you're
like Gen Z or something. I don't know. Like, you know, who's interested in the same stuff that you're interested in.
Right.
And, you know, kind of find your people. Like, you know, it's the same. I think it's the same for your music. Yeah, I don't think you should be boxed into one genre or whatever. But, you know, when you're making it, other audio engineers that are
Right.
you're not the only one that's like, I'm interested in all types of music. They're all
exactly.
everyone's like that. Like, you know what I mean? There's an audience for it.
Right.
Like, you know what I mean? So I don't think it's an excuse. I think it's just like finding your tribe in terms of the people that are interested in that as well. Like, you know.
Yeah, for sure. And I like to think that it's nice to, like, I guess, start locally. But thanks to the internet, there's somebody out in France listening to this.
Nice.
So if you're listening,
J'ai étudié le
merci.
français pendant 3 ans en école
Oh
secondaire.
man, oh chill, please.
And then that's it, and then I forget the rest of my French.
Well, she or he understands us, which is a lot more amazing.
That was just for you.
Yeah, oh god, I remember I took French and
Pour toi.
I used to sound like such a New Yorker when I used to speak French in my French class.
Yeah, je suis.
I'm like, yeah, exactly. Like, je suis David, comme ça va. Like, you know, it's like, there's a bunch of letters that you weren't supposed to say. Like,
Yeah,
you know?
yeah, silent letters.
Yeah, and it's like, it was easier trying to think in Spanish, you know. 'Cause
Yeah,
it's like
yeah.
the way the sentences are structured, it's more similar to Spanish than English. Because when I try to translate an English sentence, it wouldn't make sense in
Right.
French.
Yeah.
Yeah, it would just sound once again like an American.
Like an damn American. Yeah.
Those Americans and their English.
But I find it's like also trickier sometimes with like languages like Spanish and French because there's some similarities sometimes.
Right.
So then sometimes you're like, is this a Spanish word or is this an
Right,
English word?
like
You know?
like blanc, is white, but it sounds like black.
Right.
Like in a little
Right.
bit. Yeah.
Yeah. It's hard sometimes.
Right. Yeah. So little things.
My
like
French teacher was actually Hispanic.
Oh,
So she
wow.
would always
That's
be
funny.
like, in Spanish we say this, and then she would switch over to French, and then I'm like, what are you doing? You're
Right.
confusing me right
Yeah,
now.
yeah.
Like,
I'm already confused.
she was great. I loved her. She was
Okay.
actually really great. She was the only one. But yeah, Madame Santiago.
Oh wow, that's cool. I mean, don't get me wrong. Like people that study languages, like they study languages.
They're so cool.
Yeah.
Did you see the guy on YouTube? Maybe you saw this. He just goes out and he's a polyglot, and he's like, "I will give you €5 if I can't speak your language."
Oh wow, no, I haven't
It's-
seen that.
Very interesting to watch. I don't know why, but he's just like, someone comes up to him, says a random language,
Yeah, it
and he's
definitely is.
like, "Nope, I speak it." Every now and then, he's like, "Don't know that one. Here's €5." You know?
Yeah. So I'm guessing it's in Europe, obviously.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's
yeah.
doing that, yeah.
I forget where, but it's pretty cool.
Yeah. I mean, you could probably do that here in New York City, although it might be a little harder because it's like.
COVID? No, I'm just kidding.
No. Well, yeah. Well, yeah. First of all, yeah.
Hey, I'll give you 5. No.
Yeah, it's like no, stay away from me.
Please don't touch me.
But I feel like depending on where in Europe it is, it'll be easier to have all these different languages.
Yeah.
Because if you're here, I mean, it's either. There are many languages that could be spoken here.
It seemed like a very touristy area that he was in. Like it was pretty diverse. There was a bunch of people that were speaking
Okay.
all types of languages. I mean, I don't know. Maybe it was just a spot that he was in. Because like I said, it looked kind of touristy. But where else are you gonna go?
Yeah, well, if it was France or like Germany, I could see that happening because there's a lot of, whether they want it to or not, there's a lot of like refugees and immigrants from like all over the world in those countries. Just like here, honestly.
Yeah. Yeah.
So that's what's cool. I mean, I notice it a lot because, I watch a lot of sports. I'm not into like politics per se. So like the way I learn about other countries is through sports.
Sure.
And if you look at the French team, like the French national soccer team who won the last World Cup, they are like if they wouldn't tell you that they're French, you would think that half the team is like African or
Right.
like Northeast European, because it's like there's honestly only like 2 white guys, and only one of them has like a French name, like Pavard.
Yeah.
Like even I just said it very Englishy, Pavard, but everybody else's last name is like Dembele, Pogba, Umtiti.
Wow.
Like just like very very like African, like original names from like Cameroon and Congo, and it's like if you take them and like put them in there, I guess country of origin, like they just be all spread out through Africa.
Sure.
Yeah, and like if you just left like France with like the French people, like it would just be not only very white,
Right.
but it'd be like very average. And I think that's cool. Like the fact that like that's one good thing, just like this country, that like the fact that you're letting. I mean, this country is a little different because we kind of made people come here.
Right. Yeah. There's a lot of people here that were here against their will.
But now it's like it's so cool that you're able to like befriend any type of race, because it's just like you end up here and you bring the culture,
Yeah.
but yet like blend it in with the culture here and the culture of everybody else. So like I don't make a lot of it, but like I use curry. Like
Yeah.
I use curry and like what else do I use? And kimchi and things like that like if I stayed in Mexico I would have never known about.
Right. Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. There's a lot of stuff that's going on in here that you could like learn, and it really depends on who you hang out with and stuff.
Yeah,
and,
for sure.
I mean, doesn't even matter that you can just go in and randomly try something and be like, oh, I love this now.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah, exactly. I remember when when I was in Manhattan a lot more than I am now, which is like never. Like,
Right. Yeah.
Thanks to the quarantine, I had no reason to
Not
go.
been on a subway
Yeah.
in like 4 months.
Right.
And I'm fine with that.
Yeah, it's just cool. Like, I mean,
I have been to the city, but I've driven there.
oh, okay.
I'd like rather drive there now.
Yeah, right now, well, you probably weren't even out and about like 3 months ago when it was.
No,
like,
I wasn't.
It was so.
I was doing my duty as a New York
Right.
citizen.
Well, I was out and about. I'm not gonna lie. Not that I was like woo partying and
Yeah.
shit, but like I was, doing my errands and whatnot and seeing people. And yeah, I love driving everywhere.
It's so great. It was great. Like I did it maybe 2 months ago when the roads were kind of empty.
Yeah.
And I was like, whoa, this is cool.
Yeah.
And then like, I don't know, like 2 weeks ago, gas went back to $3.
Right.
And then there are cars on the road and I'm like, what's that about?
Yeah, like,
where's everybody going right now?
yeah. I'm like, you guys aren't going to work, so
Yeah.
can you go back home?
So what's up?
Yeah. Right. But as much as I want obviously everybody to be safe, I do also kind of want things to get back to normal because, like I said, it's not that I want to go make money again, but like I used to legit like what I did for a job.
Yeah, sure, yeah.
So and then now, like, I mean, yeah, like I can work on music here at home, and that's the good thing about having the space. But to me, like, that's kind of going back to how you said that thriving type of job.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, to me, I was getting better every day
Yeah.
because of that job. And,
Right.
like, there would be certain problems thrown my way, and it's funny because I was just about to call them opportunities.
Mm-hmm.
They're not really problems if you think about it.
Well, again, it's mindset, right?
Right, yeah.
Like you can choose to call them problems,
Right.
and you can choose to call them opportunities.
Yeah,
so,
it's like I used to like the problems / opportunities thrown my way because it's like, all right, time to think. Like, time to put your brain to work. And if you don't know how to do this, then you're going to figure it out. And like, and this will be like the beginning of you becoming, if you like leveling up or whatever you want to call it,
yeah.
And it's like, that's why, once again, like you said, not to knock people that have 9 to 5s.
Yeah, never. I'm never doing that. I'm only saying if you're doing something you don't want to do,
yeah, for sure.
you can do something
Yeah,
about
because
it.
I know there's been plenty of jobs where I'm like, as soon as like you just said it yourself earlier, like a week or two into the job, you're like, how do I leave? Like,
Yeah, you're like, this was cool.
all right,
See you.
Or like, what's my exit strategy?
Yeah.
And yeah, it's like, and I never thought about that with, just like being involved with music.
Yeah.
If anything, it's the other way around. I'm like, how do I get more involved?
Right.
And that's honestly, I think, how
Which is
I
good.
ended
That's
up.
good mindset.
Yeah, I think that's how I ended up where I am now, like trying to create, which is like, I started out just liking to DJ. Like, I was just like, this is fun. But then I was like, it's kind of boring just playing songs.
Sure, yeah.
And let's go try to make our own. And then like, once I got into beat making and like engineering and mixing, I'm like, well, this is cool, but like, what about the rest of the song?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And that's how I got into writing. And then I had the whole song, and I'm like, well, how is this gonna get put together to a project?
Mm-hmm.
So like,
Right.
that's when I get into like the whole business aspect of things and become my own executive producer. And then, even now that I got a nice camera to do like mid-level photography.
Yeah.
It's like, that's another not only like another way of exercising my, I guess, creative muscle,
Mm-hmm.
but it's like you can actually use these stuff for like album artwork or
Yeah.
or whatever, your website. And it's like, sometimes I think it's like, am I doing too much just by myself? Because like you said, you need people, you need a support system.
You do,
For
but
sure.
you know when you're doing too much because you'll know. If you can do it, then you'll do it. But if it's like, oh, this is too hard, it's draining. Once you start feeling like you're getting drained, that's
Yeah.
when you know that you're doing too much.
Well, I'll give you a good example. Do you remember that, like, the very first song that I kind of wrote
I think
for
so.
us?
Yes.
to do.
If it's that one, yes.
Yeah. So I don't think the public knows what I'm talking about because I never put that out because I decided that I wanted to do everything to like show that I can do everything.
Right.
So that was like the production, the writing, the mixing, the everything.
Yeah.
And then at the end of it, it came out sounding really shitty. Like not that the lyrics or the music was shitty, but like it just sounded unprofessional. Like,
Yeah.
it's not something you would hear on iTunes or the radio. So I was like, I can't put this out.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, you just have to know exactly what your strengths are.
Right.
So you know what you're good at. You do that. If there's something that you're not good at yet, you can get, someone else to help you with it. And then for the things that you aren't good at yet, you have a decision. You either take the time to get better at it,
Right.
or you don't. And neither decision is better than the other.
Yeah, that's true.
Like, because, yeah, to me, it's just time. Like, if you're going to decide to get better at it, then it takes time to do that. It takes resources. If you're going to decide to go get someone that you trust to help you with it, it saves time. Like,
Yeah, for sure.
neither one is better or worse, but, what are you best at? And just decide that, and then that's fine. Like, I'm sure the work that you did, I'm sure there's parts of it that you did really, really well. And then probably another part that someone else could have handled.
Yeah, for sure.
And that art is so collaborative. Like,
Yeah, that's what I liked
over...
about, I guess, the fact that I started thinking that way. Because the EP, I think, I mean, I'm always probably going to say this could have been better.
Yeah.
But, like, who doesn't do that? But
yeah.
This time, yeah, I ended up, like, I don't want to call it outsourcing, but, like, collaborating with other engineers, other writers. And I think it came out really good. I mean, if you haven't listened, go listen. Go to davidvmusic.com and listen to everything.
There you go.
Yeah.
Do it.
Everything. Even this podcast, the music. And I'll probably start putting, like, pictures up there, too, because I've been taking a lot of
You got a camera.
Yeah, exactly.
Camera
Now I feel like a real photographer, even though I'm clearly not.
My sister and I just bought my mom, like, an iPhone 11.
Yeah.
And, like, she took, like, a basic picture, and it looks wild.
Oh, yeah, definitely. Yeah, I mean, you introduced me to Marvy, so it's...
yes.
She was here, like, I think a month ago.
Is it really that long ago?
Yeah, I know, that's what I said, like, damn. But, yeah, she tried to go on Instagram Live with her phone, and I'm like, wow. I like your video a lot more. And it was the front camera,
right? Yeah.
So yeah, iPhones, those like 4 cameras that they have, that they must do the job.
Right.
But
I'm trying to find this really quick.
And that's the cool thing about technology. It's like everybody can become an artist. And like,
I mean, everyone always could.
Yeah, exactly.
It's just a matter of like.
But I mean, you think back in the 60s, like, everybody could afford a good camera? Like, I don't think so.
No, that's true.
Yeah.
I guess that's more expensive. And you can learn a lot of stuff, like, on Google.
Right, yeah,
and
exactly.
YouTube and stuff.
Yeah, that's how I learn about...
I think resources are more available, for sure.
Yeah,
like,
for sure.
All this recording equipment, to, like, buy it and put it in an apartment is probably, like, in the 60s, that's a no. That's not happening.
Yeah, you would have been, like...
Like, check this out.
Ruining your life.
Oh man, I have to scroll again. Damn. Ugh. All right, I will scroll on this, but I will show you.
No problem.
My mom went to a lavender farm.
I just realized, because I thought about your sister, how she's a Gemini too, and like how you told me that your dad was trying to get you on the birthday of Paul McCartney.
That's actually literally. This is from my mom's iPhone.
Oh, shit.
Doesn't this look like...
That looks like something I could take with that camera.
Right? Doesn't it look like a blog? Like, there's going to be, like, some article about getting over him or her, like,
exactly.
right after,
yeah,
right?
for sure.
Like, what is going on here? Like, why is it so good?
All right, folks, I'm just going to let you know, you're not going to get all the video. My apologies, but
you're going to get the good parts.
Yeah, it's okay. Plus... But, you're listening the whole time. You're not actually watching. You're listening.
Yeah. You're like doing laundry or something.
Yeah, exactly. So, yeah, I just realized that your middle name is probably after Sir McCartney.
It is. Well, my middle name is Paul, just like Paul McCartney's middle name is Paul.
Oh, so what's his first name?
James Paul McCartney.
Oh.
Whoa, we're learning things today.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah.
Just blew my mind there. I think going through life living a lie.
That is his middle name.
Wow. Okay, so your middle name is also Paul.
Yeah. That's literally why. It's really funny because, growing up Filipino American, my parents' friends were like, they're like, oh, you named him Christopher Paul, and I think one of my like friends was named like Derek John, and my dad was like, oh, John, like John Lennon,
yes,
and then they're like, oh no, like John the Apostle, and they're like, is Chris Paul like the Apostle? And my dad was like, no, Paul McCartney.
Yeah, that's funny.
They were like, we already named him Christopher, as in Christ bearer. We already got that part done.
Yeah,
like that, we got that. But Paul for Paul McCartney. So.
Yeah, that's true. I don't have a middle name, so maybe.
I don't know if you're missing anything.
Yeah, I guess not. I mean, it feels cool when people are like, I have 3 initials, and I'm like, I just have DV. Like, it's
DV.
cool.
Why complicate things?
Yeah, that's true. It's like
DV.
Yeah, and that's why David Vee is just my name. It's like, that's who I am, and
we didn't get to choose this.
Yeah, exactly. I was honestly like, I only chose that name. Like, technically, I chose that, but I didn't really choose it because you could call me whatever you want. Like I know a lot of people take pride in their name, but it's like, like you said, I didn't choose it, first of all.
Mm-hmm. Right.
Because if I would have chose my name, it would have been something like Poseidon, or I don't know.
Would it have been though? Would you have chosen Poseidon? That would have been kind of cool.
Yeah, because it's the sea and the Pisces, and that's he's a god.
Yeah.
And I just like all those like ancient Greek names, but
they're cool.
Yeah, but yeah, it's like I've had so many nicknames that like I can't even think of one to choose for an artist name. So I'm just gonna do the closest thing to my actual name, but make it different so that it's not hard to find me.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah.
That makes sense. I know I couldn't think of an artist name for a while either.
Well, you already have an artist name.
That's true.
Yeah.
It's just my name.
Yeah, like, that's the unfortunate thing. I don't think that many people, like, first of all, not many people can even say Velasquez. Like, there's people that just skip like 5 letters.
Really?
Yeah. They're like Velasquez. I'm like,
Velasquez.
what? Where'd you
Wow.
get? Yeah.
That's funny.
And I'm like, all right,
That's a cool art. Velasquez.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's not bad.
That's actually kind of cool.
But
If it was just that.
Yeah, but it's not. So
Yeah.
And it's like too many words and like too many letters that are worth high points and Scrabble for like Z and Q.
That's true. Yeah.
So my last name would probably be like 30 points in total or whatever.
It's a lot of points.
Yeah.
You
Yeah,
just get that stretched across a couple of special tiles. So
right, exactly.
You're good to go.
You probably win the game. But yeah, I thought V is like, it's simple enough.
Yeah.
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 It's like, you're not gonna say my whole last name if I
Right.
even put it. So yeah, if you guys don't know already, I do stuff. So go to the website.
There you go.
Yeah. I don't want to. I mean, we could keep going all day, but I think we have to get places. At least I do. I have to
Things
go
to
make
do.
make this damn hit better.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. I don't know if did I tell you?
I don't think so.
That
This is
that
the
I'm
first time
stupid?
hearing of this. Nope.
All right, so I'm dumb, and here's why. There was no reason for me to stop exercising once quarantine started, other than just being lazy and fat. So then, like 2 months later, I try to do the same things that I did
Right.
without proper stretching and none of that.
Yeah.
So like, I definitely pinched a nerve or something.
Okay.
And yeah, I haven't been able to do like my typical. I mean, I can like probably go for a jog or some shit. But first of all, I don't do that stuff, jogging. Like, I just find it extremely boring. Unless it's with somebody else that I like to spend time with.
Yeah.
I
Or
don't-
like you think.
No, you-
Thinking on jogs are pretty cool.
Oh, yeah. Well, I go for walks, and, like, that's my brainstorming time
Makes
kind of
sense.
thing. Like, I'll go for like 30 minutes to an hour walk.
Mhm.
I'll go to like, since Flushing Park's right there, it's like really nice to go there.
Nice.
Especially early in the morning because it's like all to yourself.
Right,
Yeah.
right.
So like I'll go for walks and like put on my headphones and just walk, and like I have so many ideas that come to my head,
Yeah.
which is cool. Like I heard like even Steve Jobs used to do that. Like when he used to have meetings, they used to go for walks. They wasn't
Right.
in the office. They were just walking around like the building or the campus or whatever. But yeah, I like to do sports, like actual like actual activities, so like a game. So I can't do that right now, and it's really annoying that like I can't, like if I see a soccer game being played, I can't just join them even though I want to
Sure,
so badly, because it's like 5 minutes into it, like I'll just start limping, because it's just not fully healed. So I'm trying to go to physical therapy right now to get it
Gotcha.
healed, because it's the summertime and this is when you're supposed to be out. All right, we get it.
I think that stopped. Yeah.
But yeah, you're supposed to be out and about having fun. Like I went to the beach yesterday and it felt good to like kind of run around without like falling.
Okay.
Because it's like, I'm pretty sure it was also some type of like hydrotherapy that I was doing, like walking in the water and along the sand. Like I assume, I don't know. I used to want to be a physical therapist, but
Really?
yeah,
Wow.
I stopped after the first year of school.
Oh, okay. You're like, nope, it's not cool.
Yeah. And I mean, I like it. Like that's the thing. I just don't like the education system.
Okay.
But I definitely like that whole subject because I used to learn on my own, like all the bones in the body, all the organs, how the muscles work. And like I remember when I was a teenager, I used to like, if I don't become a professional athlete, I'll at least wanna like be a trainer for the New York Yankees or something.
That's like my trainer's dream.
Oh,
I
yeah.
haven't worked out with him in a while, but you know, he's so knowledgeable about like fitness, and he's super fit and everything.
Yeah.
And his like huge goal is to become like a trainer for one of those teams.
Right.
I think.
Yeah, who wouldn't?
Which is like pretty crazy. I was like,
Yeah, for sure. So, but then I got to chemistry classes and stuff, and I was like, nope, this isn't for me.
yeah,
Sorry.
no thanks.
Bye. Yeah, because it was so like annoying how, I mean, maybe I have my high school to blame, but it was so annoying how I was struggling to understand the basics while everybody else was just doing the stuff.
Yeah, well, high school's weird.
Yeah.
Like, high school's a weird place.
Yeah,
You're always like comparing yourself to other people, and it sucks. It's really not like that. Like, educational institutions should be treated like gyms, right? People
Yeah,
go into
I
the
agree.
gym, they work out on their own. Everyone like looks like shit and like, whatever. I mean,
Right.
not really look like shit, but they get sweaty and whatever. But generally nobody's like, oh, I gotta work out like that guy.
Oh,
Like,
right.
everyone's kind of in there and just does their
Yeah.
own thing without paying attention. But in school, everyone's always like trying to compare whatever. Like,
Yeah, for sure. I remember, like,
some people do that at the gym,
Yeah,
but most people don't.
yeah,
Like,
in high school, I remember it's funny because now I'm putting the gym and high school together because my first 2 years I was like one of the top two like strongest, and by strongest I mean like I could bench press the most.
Right.
And like in the whole grade. But then once everybody outgrew me junior senior year,
Yeah.
I don't even think I was in the top 15.
Damn.
But
You guys had a record for that?
well, no, I mean nobody like
Yeah.
kept track, but I did. I was like, all right, I know that person can do that much.
But you see, you did that.
Yeah,
Like,
exactly. I did that, and that was like, yeah, my teenage insecurities or whatever, trying
Yeah.
to compare. But I mean, like to me, that was like a way to measure my progress and
Sure.
growth. And that kind of backfired because
Yeah.
once everybody passed me, I was like, all right, I'm not a real.
But that was the thing. You only needed to ever pass yourself.
Right.
Like you hit this cap and you're like, all right, well, how do I get to the next one? I add on like 5 pounds or whatever.
Yeah, for
And then
sure.
you just slowly get better and better.
Yeah, and I think that ended up like ultimately discouraging me in a way.
Yeah, exactly. That's what
'Cause-
happens.
Yeah, because I got like senioritis and like stopped caring. you know.
Well, that's something else.
Well, yeah.
You're like, well, nothing matters anymore because
Yeah.
I'm graduating high school.
Right, but unfortunately that like hit all areas. So like I stopped caring about sports.
Yeah.
I stopped caring about like the leadership positions I already had, and it's like, and now that I think back at it, I was like, man, you work hard to like get to where you were your senior year, and then your senior year came and you kind of threw it away. Not threw it away, but didn't live up to the fullest potential that like I was going towards. So hopefully now that I can remember that every day.
Well, yeah.
Not do that again.
Yeah. I mean, it's always up to you. Like, you know, if you wanted to go back to that stuff, like, yeah, I know what they say about like being an athlete or whatever. But again, you know, defining your own success with it. You can do something like that if you wanted to go back to it.
For sure. You know? I mean, I think I kind of did, even though I'm not like on an official sports team. Like the past year, that's what I hated about the quarantine, man. I was doing such a good like trajectory, because I was like working out like 4 to 6 times a day, twice a day, and eating right every single day, like, and then it was like I felt like I was back in high school, just like being committed and focused, like not necessarily competing against anybody, but yeah, I'm competing against myself.
Yeah.
And like I would notice the progress and I would feel good about myself, and other people would notice. And it's like, even though now I don't like necessarily like need that.
No, but sometimes it's good to see that it's like paying off.
Yeah, and exactly. And it's
because I mean, it depends on you. The quarantine's a tricky thing, right? A lot of people were feeling down or whatever, and you know, there's a big mood switch, right?
Yeah, for sure.
So I'm not gonna sit here and be like, well, David, you can still do that. I mean, it's absolutely true. You could still eat right and everything, but at the same time, quarantine makes you feel a lot of different things.
For sure.
You know, so however you deal with that is fine, and it's okay. You know, when it comes to like fitness and wellness and stuff, you can do that whenever. Like, you know, it's not ever like, oh, I missed it. Like, you can do it whenever you feel like you're up to it. You know what I mean? If you want to get back to it, get back to it. If you don't, it's fine.
Yeah,
like, you know,
sure.
no big deal really. 'Cause it was actually like, I feel like you're one of two things. Either you got really fit during quarantine, or you didn't.
Exactly.
I was on the side that got pretty fit.
Oh,
I'm
nice.
actually at like a fitter part of my life than I had been in before, because before it was all like time for me. I was pretty like, I didn't know how to manage time in an appropriate way. So, you know, fitness goals kind of slipped away from me. But then when I was like forced to be home, I was like, well, now I don't have an excuse.
Right.
And I just, you know, been hitting the workouts like crazy, and actually got fitter, started eating better. Took the time to actually learn how to count macros. That was something that scared me before, and I was like, I don't get it.
Yeah,
like,
it just takes time, really.
how do
like,
people?
and
Yeah,
effort.
it took me like 2 hours. That was it. I sat there for 2 hours. Like, that's all I needed to do.
Yeah.
I could have done this ages ago.
Yeah,
and like,
true.
you know, so I don't know, but that's because that's how I was. That's how I wanted to spend my time during the thing. Maybe that's just how I dealt with depression. I don't know, because I think to some level everyone was kind of depressed.
Right.
With you know, with the pandemic and everything, like, how can you not be? People dying like every day and stuff.
Right.
But, you know, and everyone just has different responses to that, and that's fine. Some people, you know, needed to lay off everything they were doing and just chill out. That's their response. Some people needed to distract themselves with doing stuff, which was like me. Either one doesn't matter,
Right.
like whatever it is. So, you know, in terms of you and your stuff, you were doing really great before this. You can do great again.
Yeah, for sure.
After this, you know?
Yeah. But I just don't like that because of the break. I mean, I don't want to blame the break. Like, I always blame myself first. But,
Yeah.
But, like, I don't know if this would have happened if I would have just kept going.
Yeah.
And, like, you know, I don't think this injury would have ever happened. But then again, maybe another thing would happen.
You never know.
Yeah.
You never know. Maybe this is better, right?
Right.
Maybe the pandemic never happened and quarantine didn't happen, and you kept working yourself out, but then you overdid it.
Right, exactly.
And then hurt yourself that way.
Yeah, because
Who knows?
you can't work twice a day, 6 times a week forever.
Yeah.
Like, you literally can't. And I don't know how long I would have gone, because I was doing it like literally like 6 times a week, twice a day.
Which is 12 times a week.
Right, yeah.
So yeah.
Yeah, I don't know why I didn't say that.
No, because I mean, yeah, 6 days a week, but twice a day.
But even then, going back to like how I just view everything as like it has to be balanced, like I would have kind of felt it eventually. Like, even now, like, I felt it like after those 2 months of doing nothing, I was like, all right, dude, enough is enough. You can't live life like this.
Yeah, yeah, because we figured out this is pretty much it for a while.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah, exactly.
Cities not quite open, talking about phase 3, phase 4 and all that,
Right.
but it's kind of like, I still think it's kind of early. Outside seating is not really outside. It's like, cool, I get it. If you're outside, you're somewhat safe
Yeah.
because, it just gets blown away. If there's
Right.
anything around, cool, I get it. At the same time, these people are really close. Everyone's still close to each
Right.
other. I doubt everyone lives in the same house. Like,
Right.
between all
Yeah,
you and your
exactly.
friends, it's whatever. But, it is what it is.
Yeah, we're just all learning how to live with this new reality and this new norm. Sometimes I think, like, is this really my reality? Or am I just dreaming? Once again, getting really deep. It's like, is this real? Like, is this my actual life? Or am I in some type of matrix?
I think it's not
situation?
until, like, for me, when I left the house or the car without my mask and I freak out.
Yeah, right.
I'm like,
It's
oh my God,
funny.
my mask.
Yeah.
I think that's really weird.
It's funny when that happens because it's like the one time I was like, fuck it, I'll be okay. They were like, sir, you can't be in here without a mask. And I was
Yep.
like, damn it, is that serious? Like, yeah.
It is.
Yeah,
though.
it is.
Because they don't want you spreading. You might not know. You might be asymptomatic.
Right.
And it's just like you're spreading it.
Yeah,
and you don't know.
exactly. Yeah,
People are
that's-
doing those stupid COVID parties. Do you see that? They're just like,
Yeah.
let's prove that it's a hoax.
Right.
And go have a party. And then they're like, teen dies from COVID party. And it's
Right.
like,
Yeah. The fact that like, that's what you call it, like that's
Yeah.
I think that's like karma. First of all,
Idiots.
Like, you're like. It's like you're poking fun at something that can just take you out.
Yeah.
Like, yeah.
And I don't know. I don't know if they're completely to blame, but it's like there's so much crap circling out in the media that you're
Yeah.
like, I get it. People are afraid and they don't know what to believe. They don't want to be afraid. Like, if you
Right.
look at it at that angle, I get it. But, even me, I didn't know what to believe. I didn't know what's true. They're like, it's made in Maryland or it's made here, it's
Right.
made there, whatever. And I don't know. There's a lot of information going around, a lot of misinformation going around. But I was like, well, I'm not going to take chances. I'm going to stay home and not spread anything.
Yeah, I'd rather keep
Like,
it safe too.
like if I look like an idiot later, fine. At least I'm not dead.
Yeah,
Like,
exactly. Right. Yeah. So it's up to you. I mean, I always say this like, I'm kind of torn between the things I say sometimes because it's like, obviously I want to stay alive and like do something good while I'm here, but then it's like, it compared to like the big picture, it doesn't really matter if you die, because it's like, it's just like, I don't know. Of course we're gonna think that we are the ultimate like entities or like
Yeah.
civilization in this universe,
Mhm.
but every thing thinks that way. Like ants think that their colony is the colony,
Right. But I still think every little thing has some sort of impact on the whole universe,
Yeah,
whether
yeah.
you realize it or not.
For sure.
I think we all play the part that we're supposed to play.
Right.
And yeah, unfortunately, if you are lost to something or whatever, I actually think that's just where you're supposed to be lost at.
Yeah, that's
you
true.
know,
Because then
I think.
how
I
else?
don't know.
Yeah, sometimes it's like, well, you're gonna have to learn this way because we tried the nice way,
Yeah.
and you clearly didn't learn that way. I mean, I think about that, like, just think about it. Just thinking about the situations that I've been in, that I'm like, oh, I could have avoided that if I did this or that. But it's like, well, maybe you didn't even know how to solve the
Yeah.
problem.
Now you're
So-
actually gonna avoid it.
Yeah,
you know?
exactly. So
I think I learned that a lot with my dad. My dad is always like telling me what to do and what not to do, and it just always feels like lecturing. You're always,
right.
like telling me. So like my old car, well, you remember my old car, the '97 Neon.
Yeah,
My
that's
dad
right.
used to always be like, "Don't overload it. Don't put too much." And I'm like, "Man, this is BS. If it fits in the car, it fits. Like, whatever."
Right.
So I overloaded it back, in gigging days as well. I put all the stuff in the car.
Yeah.
And then my dad dad was like, all right, all this stuff fits, but don't have any passengers, whatever. And I was
Okay.
like, okay, whatever, eye roll.
Yeah.
Loaded up the car. And then, after the show, friend needed a ride home. I was like, yeah, I'll give you a ride home. Overloaded the car. It brought the body right down onto the chassis.
Whoa.
And then so the body was so low that it like popped a tire. And I was like, oh shit.
Yeah.
I was like, this is a real thing. And I was like, and that's when I learned. And that's when, because it's also, I also didn't feel confident telling people something that I wasn't so sure about. Like,
Oh, right.
like if they see space in the car and I'm like, no, you can't get in my car.
Right.
Like I felt like a
They're
douche.
gonna
Like,
be like, okay. Yeah.
what, okay, asshole. Like,
Yeah, exactly.
But then it's like, now I get it. Now I can confidently tell people, nope, I have done this before and I fucked up. So, so we're not doing it. Like,
Yeah. Yeah, for sure. Damn, I don't want to cut it short, but we gotta go eventually.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. I think it's a good point.
yeah, before we head out, do you want to like let people know how to maybe find you, or what you want them to go look for, or what you want to tell them?
Sure. People can find me on Instagram or Facebook at Chris Paul Morales. If you just type in Chris Paul Morales, I will come up. I'm sure other social medias will come up, but they're a little less relevant. But that's how you find me. And eventually, when I get my website going, it'll probably be chrispaulmorales.com as well. That's not official yet because I didn't build it, but it'll be up
problem.
soon.
Yeah, I'll definitely put. If people don't know how to spell,
Oh,
put it up.
yes.
That's all right.
So
I'll-
my
I'll-
name is ChrisPaulMorales. So,
Yes. Sounds simple enough, but you never know.
but yeah, you never know. People do spell it
And
wrong all the
I will
time.
put it on the info and stuff.
in the show notes.
Yeah,
I always
yes, in the
wanted to
show
say
notes.
that. We're gonna put it in the show notes.
Yes, you see, that's the thing. That's how you know Chris has been in the actual like industry of producing shows, because I call them info. I call it the info. They are show notes.
It's just like
right?
calling it that.
Yeah, and like if unfortunately right now, like I said, I'm sorry about the limited visuals, but he helped me out with the angles and the lighting.
Yeah.
Things that I'm still learning about because I'm an audio guy. But hopefully this audio is very good. No, it is very good. What do you mean hopefully? It is.
It is good.
It is very
This
good.
is the best audio you've ever heard in your
Yes,
life.
Definitely. So thank you, Chris. This is gonna go on forever, so come back.
I know. Thank
Yeah.
you so much for having me on.
Yeah, definitely come back. Thanks for coming by. I know I've been trying to get you here for a while,
I know.
but it's cool. I'm glad you're finally able to come through. And I understand,
Me
like, 'cause
too.
it's like right now it's so weird. Like I couldn't get a guest for like after it's weird because I started in February, and obviously everything shut down in March. So
Yep.
I was only able to get 3 guests before the quarantine.
yeah.
And then after that, I went like 2 months without doing anything. So that's what led me to just doing kind of solo episodes.
Yeah. That's what you
And
gotta do.
luckily now, yeah, people are willing to come by. So if you know anybody else that might be interested in doing something like this,
Absolutely.
just let them know. This is like, I'll take anybody. Like yesterday, I had my younger cousin. So, yeah, which by the way, he did that.
nice.
yeah.
Nice.
He's planning on doing like seasonal styles too, like seasonal variations.
nice.
So yeah,
that would be good.
yeah,
That's good. That's good to have the creator of the logo
yeah.
up there.
So he'll be up too. His episode will be up. Chris' episode will be up. Just be patient with me as far as the video, and just it's just an improvement, guys. Like how it is if you ever created anything. It's just a work in progress. But luckily we have Chris and his voice on the recording, so that's pretty good. So thanks everybody for listening. I keep talking and rambling on, but I really have to go. I think Chris does too. So thanks for listening. Thanks for watching if you watched, and we'll see you later. Other than that, stay safe.
I'd be lying if I said I wouldn't want to change anything. And I'd be lying if I said I wouldn't want to keep things the same. If I had the chance, I would get back. If I had the chance, I would get back. If I had the chance, I would get back. If I had the chance, I would get back. If I had the chance.
All right, thanks everybody for listening and hanging in there. I hope you really enjoyed the topics we spoke about, because I think everybody could definitely relate to one thing or the other. Remember, this isn't just about music, even though that's what I like to talk about all the time. Um, it's also not just about what I like. um, this is about just anything and everything you could think of. Because as humans, we are not one-sided. We all like different things, and I hate it how the government right now is kind of trying to be like, oh no, it's all about science, technology, English, math. Like, first of all, Mister, you use that in everything. I don't know, Mister. It's one person deciding this shit. Who knows? Maybe it is, but I definitely use science, technology, English, and math on a daily basis trying to make music. So you definitely gotta put the arts in there, or else we become robots. Like, literally, we literally all just become robots if we don't like do human-like things, which is arts. Being artsy fartsy and being emotional, that's human. So we gotta embrace that shit, or else we all become robots, and then that's it. Terminator 2 Judgment Day happens, and you know how that goes. If you haven't seen it, you definitely should, because that's the best Terminator movie. I haven't even seen the new ones, to be honest. Like, I'm not even remotely interested in seeing, like, I mean, I like Christian Bale as an actor, but I heard that was a bad movie. And I kind of assumed that myself. But once again, thanks for listening. Remember, David Vee is now a partner with Monat, so go check him out at David Vee or mymonat.com/David Vee. And also remember, if you have your own small business that you want to promote, let me know and I'll gladly do it for you. I need a little more. Come on, guys. Like, we got to, like, guys in general, because if you notice, only one guy. I'm only promoting one guy's small business, and then the other two are ladies. So, guys, get on your shit. Unless you just want to, be on unemployment forever, living it with your mom and fucking smoking weed and all that good stuff. So yeah, just get on your shit and let me know. I'll promote it for you, as long as it's legal and we don't get in trouble like that. And if you do get in trouble, it's not my fault. You did this to yourself. Don't come blaming me. It's like, oh, you talked about my illegal business. Like, listen, bro, I was trying to help out. All right, I'm just rambling on. You know what? I'm definitely gonna have to do a solo episode next time, cause I feel like I have a lot to say. So, if you want to hear me talk, tune in next time. If not, then I always have guests. Don't worry. But thanks once again. Keep them coming. Remember, comments and suggestions to the hang_podcast on Instagram or on the YouTube page or whatever it may be that you're consuming this on. Go ahead and leave us a comment and let us know what you think so far and how we can make this better, or just anything. I really don't care. But be nice. But if you don't want to, I could care less too. All right, guys. Thanks once again for the millionth time, and stay safe. Peace. I'm just gonna have to hold on to it.
I don't know what's happening.
I don't know. He's never done that. Oh.